citizens need to be about keeping these commandments. This is not what I expected out of them. The true Bible, the book of our fathers.
Right. The Most High has given us guidance on what we need to do.
It's Officer Eli. It's Officer Nashon. Officer Ezekiel.
Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters. Most High in Christ bless you all. Most High in Christ bless you. We're finishing up on the series. We've been running this title for a minute, but we actually come to the end. We're going to actually go for a few hours. We're going to roll all the way up to after 9, probably 9:15, something like that, to give the team time to set up for Deacon Abiel. Shout out to Deacon Abiel with the Fix Your Face, man. I've been watching the Fix Your Face for a minute, and I'm telling you, for the last 2 episodes, I've been really digging it, because he was really getting in there. Excellent stuff. So, shout out to Deacon Abiel and the crew, and Lahab is crazy, the brother on there with that doggone costumes going on. That brother, man. I'm Bishop Yawasab, but we're gonna get right into it.
Shalom, Israel. Captain Sarai, Most High in Christ bless. Happy
Shalom.
Sabbath coming in, y'all.
Shalom, Israel. Most High in Christ bless. Ezekiel.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Also not showing. Most High in Christ bless.
Hey, happy prepping, Officer like him. Most High in Christ bless.
Yes, sir. All praise to the Most High. So we're gonna get right into it. Let's start out with the scripture. Let's get the scripture. Isaiah 14:3. This we subtitled this one Deliverance. Okay, so we've been talking about terror, how we were terrorized, how we still are terrorized in this country. We're gonna go over a lot of different things, even some things that's going on in the news with what's his brother Kyrie. Because we're gonna touch a little bit of that, because I know they're trying to get him to really apologize. They really quote unquote apologize. You know what I'm saying? And I've even seen they got some information out there saying that he did already, and all kind of crap. So, but we're gonna touch on how wicked this system is. So I'm just getting warmed up. We're gonna get right into it. Okay? So we got a lot for you. So. Let's start reading Isaiah 14:3. Let's get it in.
Yes, sir. Isaiah
chapter. Come to that.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
So the point that we need to remember, because this is what this whole series is about. The Most High said that it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord will give us rest from our sorrow. And that's what we're asking for. That's what we're praying for. That's what we're turning to the Lord for, to give us rest from this captivity that we're in. And this captivity is a monster, okay? And it is set up to just continue to make us slaves and subject to everybody's desires. And it just leaves no manhood in us at all, and it's horrible. It's a horrible reality that we live because we broke the laws of the Most High. Read it again.
And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
Well, we were made to serve. So we were made to serve this hard bondage right here. Read the next verse just so we can know where we are.
That thou shalt take up this proverb.
This proverb is this whole chapter, this whole scripture, that the prophets of God shall take up this proverb. Go ahead.
Against the king of Babylon.
Against America. That's what it's talking about. Against Babylon the Great. America is Babylon the Great. Babylon the Great in the Bible is what you call the United States of America. This is that same 8th head that you read about in the book of Revelation, where it says that the beast that was in your vision, but it is not yet in your time, even he shall be of the 8th, and it shall go into perdition, meaning destruction. That's what this chapter is talking about. Isaiah the 14th chapter is talking about that. So we're in that time now. Read it one more time.
Yes, sir. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon.
This is the news that our people need to hear, that there is an end to our captivity. There is a deliverance coming for all of the brothers and the sisters, all of us that caught hell. The Lord sent his son. The Most High sent his son to redeem Israel out of this. We're not going to be in this forever. Yes, there's going to be persecution. Yes, we're going to get tried and all of that. All kind of evil going to come our way. But at the end of the deal, those of us that endure, give me that in Matthew 24. Matthew 24 and verse 14, I think it is. No, 13. Let's read that real quick. Matthew 24:13. Because we have to endure in this. We have to endure these trials. But at the end of it, we're going to get the whole kingdom. All praises to the Lord. So that's our incentive for holding on. Incentive for holding on to this gospel. Read.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved.
He that endure until the end. Can't give up in the midway. You got to endure all the way to the end. The Most High has got us. All we have to do is trust in Him. And this is what we're finding out about a lot of our brothers in the celebrity world. They are coming across truths. They're coming across information about the Bible, and they're finding out about themselves. But because they are not been able to fully get the full program, when they get tried, they end up breaking because they don't have that protection around them. We try to help the brothers and let them know. So listen, we understand that you have these contracts and these different things that you're connected in. So we don't ask you to necessarily put yourselves out there like that. What you should be doing is just support from the back. Okay, support this gospel. Let us take the fire. Let us go through the heat. We're built for it. Not saying that you're not built for it to make you upset or anything, but I'm making that point because they always try to look for the things that you are attached to. They say we'll take away your houses, we'll take away your this. They'll look for things that you're attached to, and they'll use that as ransom to break you. Okay.
Basically, don't make it easy for them, Bishop.
Right. Exactly. Okay. You gotta let the people that don't give a damn about nothing but this gospel. Let them be the fighters. Okay. Y'all just do the work and support the troops. All right. Read.
But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
The same shall be saved. So we have to endure through all of this. Okay, we have to endure, and that's what we're set to do, and we pray every day because to give us strength. Because the road gonna get rough, the temptation's gonna get rough. Some of them gonna straight out try to murder us, and gonna succeed, So we're gonna get those things. Those things are gonna happen to us, but we're gonna endure. Even in our death, we're gonna endure. And we pray that the Lord continue to give us that strength to make it all the way to the kingdom. Okay? Read it one more time.
Yes, sir. Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
The same shall be saved. Okay? So that's what this is about. Is there a 14th verse?
Yes, sir.
Read.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world.
And this gospel of what we're talking about, the gospel is the 12 tribes of Israel being taught this gospel so that they can repent. And once they repent and that number sealed up, we are out of here. Read it again.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world, the world for a witness unto all nations.
Unto all nations. So this gospel is going to go out all over the planet. Ain't nothing this white man could do to stop it. Nothing that these so-called Jews can do to stop it. Okay. That's right. Go ahead.
And then shall the end come.
And then shall the end come. The Most High said, okay, that's it. The numbers reach. Send the angel to destroy their enemies and take my people out of here. And we want to go through all of this lesson and let you see what the end result going to be. Okay, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. So I want to make sure I get it in there. Go ahead.
Hey, Bishop, read the last part of that scripture.
Yes, sir. And then shall the end come.
Now, a little bit before the end. And this gospel, now just read the whole thing.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come.
So Christianity been preached amongst all nations, right? Right. Mm-hmm. The end ain't came yet. You can even put that up against Islam. Right. Mm-hmm. All these doctrines been preached across the whole world, but we have not yet to see the end. Mm-hmm. So let's let you know this is the true gospel.
Right.
That's why these Amalek is in a frenzy when this information is going out because they know this is the true gospel.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, we're gonna deal with them. We coming up on them. We're gonna get them. Okay. So all praise to the Most High. So as we was reading in Isaiah, it said that the Most High, it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give us rest from our sorrow. So we are to be delivered from this evil. Okay, we must be delivered from this society that seeks to keep us as boys and not mature into men. Okay, and we're fighting to hold on to our manhood and our sanity. Okay, and this society does not want us to be a man. Okay, and when these brothers try to stand up and mention about what they found out about themselves, they're trying to proclaim that as men, and the society said, no, you're not allowed to be a man, be a boy. And that's exactly how they treat our brothers. And I mean, they do it openly. They do it on the media. Why they have your brother sitting right there on the panel, and they will be literally sunning them and making the Negro tap dance, basically. And you could just see it. You could just see how they just make our people impotent, so to speak, in terms of their manhood. And they get off on this. Be one white man and the rest of the panel, so-called Negroes, and they all saying what this man is thinking. They can't even speak for themselves. And I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm saying this because there's a backlash whenever our people try to do so. And when they feel that backlash, then they start backpedaling. And Esau be just threatening them by looking at them during the conferences and during those table talks and all that. He giving them that look, so don't go too far. Right. And you can feel it. People in the audience can feel it. We're going to show you that. You're going to literally see that, okay? So, but let's start with my video, because what I wanted to point out was that this society does not allow us to mature, to be real men in this society. Okay? Put my first clip up there.
Yep.
The man of peace was eliminated. So that tells you that the people who run this show don't plan on making any changes anyway.
So they're talking about them killing Dr. King. Keep it running. Keep it running.
Do you think there's a connection between those assassinations and the people who run this show, as you say?
Absolutely.
So last week, now hold it. This is we've been playing this video, different parts of it. I'm playing this part for the first time tonight. But these are the brothers. This brother and the brother beside him. This is Earl Grant and Higgins. I forget Robert Higgins. They were both with Malcolm X right before he died, and they were trying to keep him alive because the heat was on him. He was already out of the Nation of Islam, so he didn't really have any organizational protection. And that's when the powers that be that wanted him dead, because he was starting to really come to a real conscience and bringing out the truth about who the Israelites are. He was bringing that out, and there's records on that. Mm-hmm. So they were looking to kill him, and they did. They succeeded. Okay. So these brothers were Malcolm X's bodyguards. Play on.
Do you regret your years with Malcolm?
Not a single day. Not 1 second. None of the brothers do. It was the best thing ever happened to us.
What was it about him that made you willing to lay down your life for him?
Well, for one thing, he was honest. He never lied. If he ever said anything to you, you could bet on it. And he was sincere in what he was trying to do. And I guess I really never thought about things like that. We didn't take time out to think about things like that. We had something to do, so we did it. With just a few of us, Luke, myself, Brother John, Brother Ivory.
See how that thing hurt my brother?
What is it that hurts you so when you talk about those days, Earl?
It was a chance to really be somebody. This country doesn't allow black males to mature. It allows them to grow up physically, but not to mature mentally, intellectually, or spiritually. And Malcolm gave black men that chance in this country.
So you see that? You see that? Now that was said in 1983, that this country does not allow for black men to mature. They allow us to grow physically, to be great athletes, to be great on the gridiron, throwing the football and all of that. But in terms of being intellectually or spiritually, I should say, to be a man, be a mature man, this country does not want that image of black men out there. Don't want the young people to look up to black men. And that's what he was saying there. And Malcolm was given that, because that was the example that we had then. Malcolm gave brothers that ability, and you see what happened there. Dr. Martin Luther King, another one. They took him out. That's what he was talking about when it first started. He said that he said about the assassination of many people. So Martin Luther King was Jr. was assassinated. They assassinated Malcolm X. They assassinated Medgar Evers. I mean, when you really think about it, there's a lot of assassinations been going on, you know, and the whole point is that's how ruthless this KKK America is. It's the real deal. It's really you want to talk about a hate group, that's the hate group. We're going to read it. That's coming up. That's coming up. But that's the real hate right there, because they brought us over here to be servants and slaves. They didn't want us to be anything else, nothing else. So whenever we try to break out of that, they will tar and feather you right there on the set. Okay, and that's basically what we're dealing with. Okay, give me my next video.
So Bishop, can I say this right quick?
Yeah, yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
as we hear, you know, you say Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. So there we see, you know, Medgar Evers and so forth. So on. There's been a lot of great men. Okay. Now, they hadn't came into the knowledge that they were Israelites, but you can definitely tell that the Most High God was using them in some form or fashion to, you know, to point our people in a direction where it's unifying and bringing our people's minds together, because when you look at it, it's all in the Bible. Now, I heard what he said. He said, you know, what it made you lay down your life for you know, Malcolm X, because he said he could trust him, what he said. And I was thinking about scripture, 1 Samuel 2 and 3, that, you know, Malcolm X, you know, and many others, they wasn't speaking of arrogancy, you know, proudly, boastfully, you know what I'm saying? Because God don't care nothing about that. But by your actions are you weighed. So people are watching your actions. Their actions, not only what he said, but his actions behind what he said manifested that they felt strongly in following him, giving, you know, protecting his life. So that's heavy there. That's heavy there, you know. With the great leaders we have had. Go ahead, officer.
Hey, Bishop, you mind if I play one video?
Yeah,
to your
go
point.
ahead.
Hey, play that second video I got. It's going into basically how they treat our people nowadays, even in the media. Exactly what they doing to Kanye or Ye, and what they doing to Kyrie Irving. All right, so it's going to show how they portray. No, the second one, not this one. But your boy Ye wasn't having it though.
Yeah.
He getting fed up. He getting fed up. No, not this one, y'all. The one that's in the middle.
But it was you know, definitely good to hear him, you know,
the one that's in the middle, y'all.
Bring those points out, because we ourselves didn't know Malcolm X. You see what I'm saying? But we know, and we've seen videos of Malcolm X, especially at the end of his life, where, again, like Bishop was bringing out, that he was starting to come into a place where he recognized who he was and who we are as a people, that we are a great people. You see what I'm saying? And yet they still,
that second one that y'all,
yet they still, like you said, don't want us to grow up and be men, you know.
The spiritual and intellectual awakening and ascendance of the Israelite man in America is so threatening and frightening and terrifying to the people that want to keep us oppressed, that when they see a situation like the unity, such as a Black Wall Street, they will send the same planes that they fill up with bullets and go send during World War II to shoot up tanks and stuff like that into the country where they are from, America, to Oklahoma, and shoot up and bomb and napalm a city of its own, within its own borders. If they see us coming into a semblance of unity on that level, it's terrifying to them.
Right.
there you go, right there. Okay, again, this is just showing how they treat us in the media, all right, and that they don't want us to be men. They want their agenda to continue on. Go ahead, play it.
I think you should say to the Jewish people, I'm sorry for the offensive language I used in that tweet. I wouldn't do that again. This is what I really meant. I think people would respect you if you said that. I don't know why you can't just say that.
You know when I'll say it? When I sit down with the people who write out the contracts for the NBA and for the NFL.
So you see him. So he's trying to stand up as a man. He wants his ideas to be known. He wants his points to come across. But Esau don't want that. All they saying is do what we tell you to do. Apologize. All that other stuff you talking about is we don't care about all of that. All right. But he's saying no. I'm going to give you my ideas. I'm going to give you my points. Go ahead, play it.
And for professional music and for acting contracts. We need to go to the top lawyers, the top execs, the owners of the stadiums, the owners of the football teams, and the owners of the record labels. And we're going to put them all in one.
So he wants to stick up for all the entertainers, whether it be in the NBA, whether it be in the NFL, whether it be the music, because they're all getting done dirty. The people that own these industries make billions on top of billions. Meanwhile, they get the crumbs. And they don't get their masters, whatever it may be. He wants to stick up for them. So that's the point that he's trying to make. He's saying, I will apologize when I can talk to the top people about what's going on in these contracts. Go ahead.
One room, and we're going to read let's go top 10 in each one of these categories, right? Let's read Michael B. Jordan's
contract. Why would any of that?
Hey, bro, I ain't finished. I ain't finished my sentence.
Nothing you're saying has anything to do with regret.
Hey, boy.
Don't call me boy.
Don't finish. I told you. Oh, don't treat me like a boy then. I'm going to finish my sentence of my idea.
Nothing.
That was the point right there. He fed up.
Right, exactly. Now, because when we have to go on the defense like that, that means because we've been constantly fed that. That's the reason why he had to just lash out that way. To listen, boy, he had to say that because that is the feeling that we all get. Rather, it's unspoken.
Right.
And sometimes it's unspoken. Mm-hmm. You don't even really hear it, quote unquote.
Right.
Like they call it subtle racism. Where you don't really, where it's not overt, but you feel 100% of it. So he said, you know what? The hell with this SH. Boy, he said, I'm just going to say what every black man been wanting to say for the longest.
Yeah.
Right.
And every time they get sitting up there, have a white man talking to them any kind of way they want to, men want to be able to say, you know what? Get this damn monkey off my back.
Yeah, right.
That's what he want to do.
Right.
He want to be able to bring it out.
Right, because it was a time where we couldn't even look them in the eye. We couldn't walk up on the same sidewalk when we saw them coming.
Right.
Heard it even when we had to laugh. We had to go stick our head in a barrel to laugh.
Think about that, laughing barrel. Exactly.
Yes.
That was crazy. I remember one time we was in the old school, and I remember we was in the 44th Street teaching, and I remember the leader, the brother that was teaching, he basically said, I want all you black men to do something. He said, I want you to just stretch out and feel yourself. Don't give a damn about nobody. Just let it out. You know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He said, say like that, because he said, I want you to don't be looking around to see who's looking.
Yeah.
Bring that real, bring your real self out.
Yeah.
Because it's like we feel that pressure on us, even though it's unspoken. We feel it. So the brother said, you know what? Feel yourself.
Wow.
Dig down into your real soul and feel yourself.
That's heavy right there.
Yeah.
You are allowed to exist.
You're right.
Well, you feel like that when you're in your own home, but as soon as you walk out, the sidewalk, the store, any area outside of your own personal space. But the earth was made for us. You're supposed to feel that confidence within yourself that you matter no matter where you're at on this earth.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. Play my video. Play my the video with the brother. Kyrie. I'm sorry. Kyrie. Yeah, you can tell I don't play basketball. I just don't know anything about this stuff at all. But
you fine, bitch. We don't keep up with a lot of stuff no more either. So
hit me.
Are you sorry for the hurt that your posts caused people?
I'll take my responsibility for posting that. Some things that were questionable in there, untrue. Like I said, and the first time you guys asked me when I was sitting on that stage, I don't believe everything that everybody posts. It's a documentary. So I take my responsibility.
It seems like Adam sort of wanted to hear the word, I apologize, or in your mind, you said I didn't mean to cause any harm. Were you apologizing or did you not apologize?
I didn't mean to cause any harm. I'm not the one that made the documentary.
So you notice what he's trying to do. He's trying to direct them. He said, listen, what the hell are you coming to me with all these damn questions when the people that made it, you ain't said nothing to them.
Right.
Because Amazon and everybody else, they are allowed to be men.
Right.
They are allowed to say whatever the hell they want to say, but when it comes to us, we got a damn apology. I bet it'd be cool.
And that shows you.
We got to damn apologize. What the hell is this?
Right. Yeah. Why the person who made the film ain't got to apologize? Why the people who selling the film ain't got to apologize? But you coming to me to apologize. He's talking about Adam Silver like an apology. The hell with Adam Silver, you know?
Yeah.
So this is the Negro Boys Association now?
And that's showing you.
Yeah.
That's showing you.
That's NBA. Yeah.
Yes.
Negro Boys Association.
Like
That's what
Bishop just said.
Yeah.
They're sunning them.
Yeah.
Right.
They're trying to sun
Well,
him.
they're trying to sun him, but you ain't seen no sunning yet. Go ahead.
No, that's what I'm saying. They're trying to sun
They're
him.
trying to sun him, and he knows it.
Right.
He knows it. They call him a smart what they say, uppity nigga. That's what they're really trying to say about him. They don't. That's what they really want to say.
Yeah.
I've even heard some speeches, some talk where it was like, he's just uncontrollable, something like that.
Right.
Had a Negro say it.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can imagine behind closed doors, tables flipping over, they cussing each other out. What we gonna do about him? They probably squabbling with each other, turning over tables because they so mad.
Yeah, exactly. I remember Deacon Abiel said on his Friday, Fix Your Face, and he said that whenever they quote unquote slaves get out of line, this is how they think. We ain't no slaves at all, but that's how they try to make us to be.
Right.
They said they'll get the dogs after you. They'll send your own after you. And all of a sudden, all of the Negroes' phones begin to ring. I'm like, every 5 hours, another Negro with a microphone with a white man sitting there talking about go ahead and say something against the brother. Go ahead and say something against. And that's and all these, I've seen about 5 or 6 different episodes of these quote-unquote newscasters that bring out Charles Barkley. They bring out
Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal.
They
bring out all these.
Right.
One that
I ain't gonna. But they bring them out because that's exactly just like when Kanye did.
Right.
They sent people out, Charlemagne and all of them. They sent different people. It's the same crap.
Right.
It's funny that you said Charles Barkley, the first name you threw out there, bitch.
Right.
Yeah.
One that I seen was recently just Shannon Sharp.
Yes.
He's been
He's there.
he's been going hard.
I got him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that's what I was watching.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. But go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
I was just gonna say they, Shannon Sharp talking about. He tried to downplay him. Like, he want the Duke. He think he's smart.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Oh, uppity nigga. That's what he was basically saying.
Right. And then he's talking about he's into conspiracy theories. No,
all that garbage.
The brother realized the truth, and you trying to shut him down. You want to stay under master's foot. You want to stay in the neck of master. He trying to pull you out of that thing. The nerve of you, man.
Yeah.
Play on. Hey, keep the volume up, brothers, because I don't care about the clicking. I don't like because you be missing stuff when y'all do it that way.
I think documentary.
What are the specific things in the documentary that you don't believe are true and that you don't believe represent your wrongs?
I think some of the criticism of the Jewish faith in the community, for sure. Some points made in there that were unfortunate.
Kyrie, are you surprised that you did hurt people?
Surprised that I did hurt people?
Are you surprised that reaction and some of the things that you did hurt people?
Yeah, I think I can ask a better question. It's just, where were you when I was a kid, figuring out that 300 million of my ancestors are buried in America?
Damn, bring that out.
Where were you guys asking those same questions when I was a kid learning about?
Hey, real quick, I just gotta
that's
say,
heavy.
they getting on him for reposting that documentary. Meanwhile, they're making all of these slave movies, 12-year slave, the Roots, all of that. Ain't nobody saying nothing about that. But you giving him a hard time about this documentary that he had nothing to do with.
Right.
But when but all your people can go out there and watch the slave movies.
Yeah.
You can dress up as slaves for Halloween and all of that.
Right. And enjoy where they at today because of that.
The hypocrisy is madness, man.
Right.
You got to say something, Bishop?
No, go ahead.
You,
I hear some kind of static in there.
I do too. To be, if you can go through life, if you go through life and you just see nothing wrong with what's going on right here, the points he bringing out about the 300 million of his people that's been that was put to death, all the stuff, all the ridicule that he's going through, okay, over posting a movie, it's got to show you something that's going on in this society with us. It's showing you that they still consider you to be a slave.
Right.
Okay. No other people have to go through the things that we go through for wanting to find out who we are, claiming our existence. But if you can go through life and just be cool with what this is what's going on, you're a slave. You just not a man.
Right.
You're not a man.
Right. Yeah. Because when he mentioned about the 300. He said 300 million of my people are buried here in America.
Right.
That fell on deaf ears.
Oh yeah, it just
it was like he didn't say anything.
Right.
It don't matter
because they don't
Right.
care. They're basically saying, "Nigga, we would have left you in the ghetto." That's their message to us. We giving you a platform, and if you gonna use, we giving you a platform to bring out sports. So meanwhile, we own you. That's the reason why they use the word owners.
Right.
See, it ain't just accident.
Right.
They use that word owners for a reason.
Right. Exactly.
You understand?
Right.
So that probably be in their contract, and they mess our people up with that thing. You know, but at some point you got to take a stand. But just know what it's going to entail when you do so. All right. Count the costs. Go ahead. Play on.
Of my familial history and what I'm proud to come from and why I'm proud to stand here and why when I repeat myself that I'm not going to stand down, it has nothing to do with dismissing any other race or group of people. I'm just proud of my heritage and what we've been through. And the fact that this has pinned me against the Jewish community. And I'm here answering questions of whether or not I'm sorry or not on something I didn't create. And it was something I shared. And I'm telling everybody I'm taking responsibility. Then that's where I sit. So, you know, these same questions that you guys ask, me dealing with it as being a melanated, pigmented person all around the world and dealing with racial biases against my skin color, demeaning me because
That's
of
another
my
point.
religious
Racial
belief.
biases because of our skin color.
Right.
Nobody wants to address that.
Right. Right. No.
They're basically saying shut up and dribble. Go ahead.
And I'm still sitting in the seat standing. So I take my full responsibility. Again, I'll repeat it, for posting something on my Instagram or Twitter that may have had some unfortunate falsehoods in it. But I also am a human being that's 30 years old, and I've been growing up in a country that's told me that I wasn't worth anything, and I came from a slave class, and I come from a people that are meant to be treated the way we get treated every day.
Damn.
To this day.
I'm not here to compare
To this
anyone's
day.
atrocities or tragic events that their families have dealt with generations of time. I'm just here to continue to expose things that our world continues to...
Pause it. So what he's saying is that he's not in the business of trying to hurt anyone.
Right.
He's just bringing out truth. And whenever telling the truth becomes a crime, then you know you're dealing with something else.
Yep.
You understand? And we're going to touch all these points. I'm just trying to get my gears oiled up as we move on. Back it up just a little bit and let it ride on out.
He's making some good points.
Yeah. So, some heavy stuff that he said. All right.
And I came from a slave class, and I come from a people that are meant to be treated the way we get treated every day. So I'm not here to compare anyone's atrocities or tragic events that their families have dealt with generations of time. I'm just here to continue to expose things that our world continues to put in darkness. I'm a light. I'm a beacon of light. That's what I'm here to do. You guys ask me questions about basketball, I give you my expert opinion. You guys ask me about other things, I give you my opinion, and it's met with whatever you believe the perception or the deception is. You guys investigate my life every day, and you justify it by serving your own purpose, which I honor. I would like the same respect in return.
I would like the same respect in return. Why don't you have that concern for our people?
Right.
You got me, you grilling me all over me just simply reposting something. The person that wrote it ain't got no backlash, no nothing. But because I reposted it, that's the same thing they did with what was the other brother, Deshaun Jackson. They did him like that.
Yep.
So they basically said, well, being that we did Deshaun Jackson that way, you're going to set the precedent for anyone else that do this. We're going to go after him this way. So go ahead.
Like anyone else. So please keep that same energy when we're talking about anti-other things. Because just because I post a documentary doesn't mean I'm anti-Semitic. And doesn't mean that I'm automatically standing with everyone.
So keep that same energy. Right. Keep that same energy.
Right.
Y'all coming after me for something that I didn't even say. I just reposted it, and y'all want to take food out of my mouth.
Right.
Y'all want to just completely destroy me. But meanwhile, when horrible things happen to us, nobody says anything.
That's the true anti-Semitic.
That's the real anti-Semitic right there. Go ahead.
Is believing in that. So it's unfortunate timing that we're in, but I'm glad that I could stand on the truth because I'm not afraid of these mics, these cameras. I used to be looking everyone in the eye and telling them the truth. And I'm proud of who I am. Any label that you put on me, I'm able to dismiss because I study. I know the Oxford Dictionary. You look it up, right? Just one of the biggest mistakes I had in being a kid was not knowing European or Western language. Until I started looking it up and understanding the definitions and why they say, if you want to trick a black person, put it in the book.
When he said he knows the Oxford, Dictionary, do you know what he was really saying?
What the word anti-Semitic actually means.
Absolutely. That means he really know what it really means, and nobody wants to really talk about it.
Right.
That's the reason why the brothers are saying, how in the hell am I anti-Semitic when I'm Shemitic myself?
Right.
Because he know what it means. I got the definition here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Hey, put it up there. We going to come back to it. Put it up there. Put it up there. I got it in the screenshot. You ain't got to go looking for it online. Just look further down in there.
Just let the people know.
Let the people know, because this is what it means. Okay?
Some good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anti-Semitic means to be against Semites. Okay? Read that.
Semitic, relating to or
so Semitic. So anti would be on the front of this. It's too anti to be anti-Semitic. That's what would be the opposite of what we're reading here. So this is what it means to be Semitic, or Shem, by the way, Shemitic. Mm-hmm. Read.
Semitic, relating to or denoting a family of languages that includes Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic, and certain ancient languages such as Phoenician and Akkadian, constituting the main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family.
Constituting the what?
The main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic.
Of the what?
Afro-Asiatic.
Black people. Right. In a damn dictionary. So that's what see, these people will put stuff in a book. Right. You would read it, and they dare you to say it. Right. You're like, but damn it, I read it. They say, but yeah, you're allowed to see it, you're allowed to read it, but you better not say nothing. That's the worst kind of psychological violence right there. Because here you know the facts, you know the truth. They say, yeah, we allowed you to see it. We know what it is, but you cannot say it. That's the perfect definition of repression, oppression, and terrorism. That's what we're going to talk about, okay? Let's go back to the video. Wow. That's what the brother was saying.
I was wondering my whole life why they said that. Now I'm 30 years old, and I know reading is a superpower because it helps me understand where I'm going and where I come from. It's like a tree with roots.
Kyrie, the documentary listed among falsehoods. It said the Holocaust didn't happen. Do you believe the Holocaust
those falsehoods are unfortunate. And it's not that I don't believe in the Holocaust. I never said that. I never, ever have said it. It's not come out of my mouth. I never tweeted it.
But they're going to give it to you.
Never liked anything.
Even though he never said it, they said, well, we're going to give it to you anyway. They did Sonny Carson like that on a show I saw a long time ago. Sonny Carson was on the, you don't know him. I'll have to bring his information in one of these days. Brooklyn activists during the Crown Heights situation, and when Gavin Cato got ran over by Hasidim, driving a car with no license, ran through a red light and killed a little black kid on a bicycle, and the ambulance came for the white man and left the black child in the street with the bicycle all mangled up.
What?
And the people exploded. Yeah. So you had X-Clan. That was X-Clan was back during that time, and Sonny Carson was back there, and he was the advocate for the people in Crown Heights. It was a big mess with the Hasidic Jews over there in Eastern Parkway and all that madness. But let's get back to let's go back to the video.
So, the Holocaust in itself is an event that means something to a large group of people that suffered something that could have been avoided. No one said we had to practice racism. No one said we had to treat each other like garbage. No one said that I had to stand here today and understand that many people that come from generations 60 years ago, 40 years ago, enslaved some of my ancestors still, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally.
And y'all questioning me. And y'all getting on me. And it's, I'm not, y'all trying to make it seem like I'm the one about hate. I'm the one. And the brother is basically saying that we're not trying to hurt anybody. Right. We're not trying to be anti-anybody. One thing we're doing is just bringing out the truth. Right. That should never be a problem. But in a wicked, nasty, evil system, you mentioning truth means you're an enemy.
Yep.
That's just something that we just have to accept. Okay? Play on. So the brother said that he's making a point that we're not about hating anyone. We're just trying to bring the truth out. Go ahead.
You guys are asking me, respectfully, to speak on something that was a documentary that I had nothing to do with.
So go after them. Keep playing.
So just please keep that same energy when you guys are addressing me.
Damn.
Kyrie, for the record, do you have...
So they, whoa. They just dismissed what he said.
They won't stop.
They said, we don't give a damn about what you said. We don't care about that at all. They're going to ask him another question. I'd be like, listen, man, take your damn microphone. I'm out.
Right. Exactly.
And look at his demeanor.
Then they say, well, there goes his job and everything else. That's how they get you.
Right. Right. Because they're trying to find the words. They want to see. They listening to him very close. You can hear a pin drop if he wasn't speaking. They want to catch him in his words like they did Christ.
There you go.
Okay.
That's exactly what they try. That's the only reason. That's why he said I ain't afraid of these microphones, because they want to get like when Kanye said what he said that one time. He had been in front of about 12 or 14 microphones after that. They said, and we're going to record everything that he said, and we're going to use this against him.
Right.
And they're going to watch the progress of him getting weaker and weaker and weaker, because they're going to continue to bombard him.
Mm-hmm. Right.
When you going to say you're sorry? Blah, 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 blah.
Right. Right.
I said, well, what about my people? What about the railroading that we're getting on these contracts?
Right. Right.
We don't want to talk about that.
Right. And what they're trying to do, too, if you realize, like always, and what you said about Kanye, try to force you in a place where you have to snap or be angry. Then see, look at him, you know. Look how he act. You know, they just want to throw it off.
Right. You know why they really why they really trying to squeeze the brother? Because they want to find out what he's really thinking.
True.
They want to get inside his head, because he's smart. He's slick. I don't want to use the word slick.
Right.
He's smart with his words.
Right.
And they say we don't like that. But here's the conversation they're having. Keep putting the pressure on him. He will break.
Yeah.
We're going to find him. We're going to record everything he says. Somewhere along the line, he's going to slip up, because we know that he's just giving us some words now. But in reality, he knows he's a Jew. Even though I saw he got that on his finger, so I saw that. So he still got some work to do.
Right.
But he's trying to come around. You understand? And they don't like that. They said even those kinds of things is like a conduit to this truth. And they said we want to neuter his ass now. I got to speak plain.
Right.
That's what they really want to say. They said we want to neuter his ass now before he even move.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Again, I'm going to repeat. I don't know how the
He said, how many times I got to tell you, damn it?
Right. Your
Go ahead.
Semitic belief. Come on.
Justified, because you guys ask me the same questions over and over again. But this is not going to turn into a spin-around cycle of questions upon questions. I told you guys how I felt. I respect all walks of life and embrace all walks of life. That's where I sit.
I think what people want to hear, though, is just a yes or no on that question. Yes or no.
I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from. I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from.
They don't like that.
Real quick, if they cared about what he thought, they would ask him, what are you talking about? They don't give a damn what he thinks.
They don't.
They don't care. They would ask him, what do you mean by that? But they not asking none of that.
No. And the strength and the specificity of his answers and his diction and this whole interview, they going to cut it, and then they going to put the picture of this right here up and say, Kyrie Irving apologizes just in the hopes
Yes.
that people will scroll past it and say, oh, I
Right.
guess he apologized.
Right.
They're not
Right.
even going to listen to the interview
Exactly.
because they're going to cut it, edit it,
Right.
chop it up,
Right.
make him sound ridiculous or
Right.
make him sound
Yeah.
like he did say it.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
That's it. That's
Clip
it.
bites and all that.
So as you can see, the brother he's saying, listen, all I'm doing is bringing out the truth. There's no hate here. I don't hate anybody. He even talked about the so-called Jews in that thing that happened in Germany, and all of that. And he said, but you don't compare that to 300 million of my people that's buried here, and you don't even want me to say anything about it.
Right.
You don't want to talk about the hundreds of millions of our people that died in the Middle Passage coming over here. What about that Holocaust? And like Sonny Carson said, some of us ain't never going to forget it. You want us to forget that, and you want us to glorify 6 million, so-called 6 million. You want us to glorify that and look over your own family. That's crazy. They don't do that to us.
Right.
Here, the brothers mentioning about the things that we went through, and they basically just don't even talk about
Next
that.
question.
Next question.
Why you keep bringing that up?
That's what you call an insult. That's the reason why I played that video with the Malcolm X clip, because they basically said that when it comes to your people, you're not allowed to be a man to really stand up for man things. A man is supposed to be responsible for his people, responsible for his nation, responsible for his family. That's what men are. That's what men are charged with. If you're going to wear the badge of a man, that's what's supposed to be your concern. They're basically saying you are not to be concerned with that. Here's a basketball dribble, and here's some money behind it, and that's it. That's all we want you to do. What an insult! I don't know how in the world could people how they can continue to just want to stay in this damn captivity with no manhood. You should be praying every day for the Lord to deliver us out of this cesspool of disrespect. Okay? So the brother said that basically making it clear that we're not advocating hate against anyone. Put up our disclaimer. Was that it on the video? That was it, right? Yes, sir. Only 7 seconds. Okay. I don't know what he said in them 7 seconds. Let's get it all in.
I was informed that they wanted to have a meeting, and we handled it.
So they're basically asking about what the Negro, what they call it, Negro Boy Association.
Yeah, that's it.
NBA want to do about his because he stood up like a man and said manly things. When white folks do stuff like this, they don't question them. I'm serious. They don't question none of them at all. Right. But when it comes to us, they basically say we are not allowed to do nothing except what by the dictates of what they give us. And that's and the worst part about it, because I know Kanye was making that point, or Ye, he was making that point, is that our contracts that they give us frame that kind of language. Because you wonder, how is it that they break us? Because they already got them signed to that kind of wording. They probably got it written in there, so they say, in case you get loose and start this here, we're going to bring this up. And if you don't, then they'll have a nice, like the jackals, like we talked about. The jackals, they'll have that nice little conversation with you. They say, by the way, your contract says such and such and this and that. And we will go after you. Because a lot of times they give that money up to them, especially if they knew. Them sports figures, they get big money up front. They ain't even played the seasons yet.
Right.
They ain't even played the years yet, and they got like 5 years worth of money. And if they go off on the rails and say anything, they'll bring that contract up and tear it behind up, and that's what they know. So it's a real deal. But like my brother said, we're not into hate. So put it up there. Come on, Captain.
Right.
Israel united in Christ. We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a non-violent, Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat, as stated in Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1, King James Version.
All praise to the Most High. So, just like my brother said, we're not into advocating violence against anyone, but that doesn't mean we're not going to tell the truth. Just like my brother tried to tell the truth, right? As you know, they ain't got the full deal, but they got enough. Okay, and like I said, our enemies recognize even if you have glimmers of truth, they say because that could be a conduit that can lead them straight to that Bible. So we need to nip that right now, and that's what those contracts are for. When they put those contracts together, they have all of that because they know who they're signing up. They say these are the Israelites. Right. They got think tanks They said these niggas can play. They can play that music. They can do this. They can do that. That's how they talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just speak how they really talk about it.
Yeah.
They're great athletes and this and that and the other because they are the children of the Lord. But
amazing.
right now, we have them neutered in their intelligence. We have them neutered in their minds. We have them as oxes on the field. We don't. But there's a chance that phenomenon, like Willie Lynch talked about, that phenomenon might get in them and they might start to try to wake up. So we need to frame a contract to let them know when they begin to get out of line. Say, listen, this is how we're gonna get you. And that's all you've been seeing in the media with all of them, with the record contractors, with the record contracts, movies, sports. All of it's the same damn thing. Same thing. Comedians, all of them.
Right.
You wonder why? Because you got to think about why is it that you don't hear much more of this? Because somebody sat down and told them this, and then sometimes they'll say, "Well, hell with that. I'm going to bring it out anyway." And they'll test this white man. This white man said, "Hey, we didn't put this in here for nothing. We're going to come after you." And we go even as far to sick your own people on you. I mean, I watched how they did the brother.
Right.
He's at practice, and they got his teammates sitting there with a damn anti-Semitic shirt on.
Yeah. Some of them sitting on there with
Sitting
kufi on their head.
Yeah. They sitting there with a black shirt with a white writing on it, talking about some against antis, whatever it said.
Right.
We are against anti-Semitism. All of that was to attack him.
Right.
Psychological warfare on the brother. Damn. That's how that's how these people are.
And again, Bishop, too, there's been, stuff that has been revealed on them. Like you got Coach Gruden. You got Brent Favre, how he was manipulating, doing stuff. But you don't see them on TV. You don't see them bringing all this information out. Nope. And many of them that actually was coaching and playing with us. You don't bring out those anti-Semitic behaviors. Okay? And when I say anti-Semitic behaviors, I'm talking about against us as Jews.
Right.
We're real Jews.
Right. We're the real Jews. Give me Micah 2 and 10. Micah 2 and 10. Okay. Y'all been hearing me say for years that the people there's this so-called educational system is designed to make us stupid. It really is. It's because we're taught that we're getting an education when in fact it's an indoctrination.
Right.
And it indoctrinates us into a level of where we can't even think properly. But even with that, we still know what the truth is. Let me explain exactly what I mean when I say we know what the truth is. Our people know that this Bible is talking about us. They know that. They're not what I mean by that is that when you talk about the 10, let me make it plain. I should have brought this clip in. When you talk about the 10 Commandments, that movie, The 10 Commandments, and you see Charlton Heston playing Moses, and he comes into the Pharaoh's palace, and he comes up to quote unquote Pharaoh on the throne, played by Yul Brynner and them Edomites up there. But meanwhile, behind them on the walls is black people because it was actually filmed in Cairo, Egypt. I mean, on the walls in the movie,
Right.
in the 50s, Cecil B. DeMille's movie. Black images on the walls. And the white people sitting up in the front. It's almost like we dare you to say something. Even though you see the images behind them. They didn't give a damn.
Yeah.
That's how blatant they are with it, with the disrespect.
Right.
Yeah. They'll have that up there. Moses, quote unquote, Charlton Heston playing Moses. He comes in and he tells the Egyptian king, "Behold, I bring you Ethiopia." Hey, can we find that clip? Can we find that clip? Okay. I just want y'all to see this because I'm making the point that I gotta illuminate this point since I brought it up. I just want y'all to see this here. Okay.
Just literally right in your face.
Yeah, right in your face. Right in your face. All throughout this movie, when you watch it, you see images of black people on the walls, and they got white folks sitting up there as if they're the Egyptians. This is the kind of bold-faced.
Right.
I dare you to say what it is.
Right. The bold-faced lies.
Bold-faced lie. But I'm gonna show you how blatant they are with it. Okay. So what you're looking at here is that's King Seti, the Pharaoh. Come on, brothers. What we doing? You had it at a part. I was gonna talk about it since you had it there. Okay. Just show that. Put it up there. Put the thing on the screen so the people can see. Okay. You're looking at, this was supposed to be Pharaoh, who's going to usurp the throne of Seti, who's sitting on the throne. That guy standing next to him is supposed to be Moses. Okay? With the Egyptian clothing on, because Moses was raised as an Egyptian when you read it in the scriptures. So you actually have Charlton Heston playing as Moses, and then you have Yul Brynner playing as Pharaoh, Ramses. And the man that's on the throne is King Seti. Okay? So now, go give me my part that I want. This is it, right? This is what I want. Hit it. Is this what I want, brothers?
When the Ethiopian come up.
Right. Just
It's
play it
before
from there.
that. It's before. Earlier. There,
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Play it. Now I want you to look at the wall. Hold it. Before you play it, look around. You see those carvings in the stone and all of that? That's real. That was actually filmed in the Egyptian temples. That was actually filmed in Cairo, Egypt. That's not no backdrop. That's the real deal over there. They filmed it there. Now go ahead, play. Watch this. This is how they dare you. No, it's past this. Okay, well let it ride. Now they got black people. Well, now who are these black people here?
Right.
Who are these? You got white people sitting up there as the Pharaoh and the Egyptians. Oh, Lord have mercy. This is what I'm talking about when they just dare us to say the facts. All of the African nations come out of Ham. Okay, do we have that clip? Just to show the people, some people, Ham, the Bible dictionary. Can we just show that real quick? Can we find that? Bear with me, brothers. I ain't want to go off because I know this next thing you know, time will get away from us. You know, I'm just asking for things all of a sudden. But slide past this here because it's beyond this. It's beyond this.
But
okay.
Bishop, real quick, all them black people were just the entertainers,
yes,
jesters, and all of that.
Right.
That's all they were.
Right.
But they supposed to be the same race
They're
as the
supposed
person.
to be the same, right, and that's what I want to bring in. So it must be before this. Is this the one? This got to be it. This got to be the scene. This got to be the clip. Maybe it's before this. It's before this. Back it up. There
it is.
That's it. There it is right there. There it is. See, y'all was past it. This the part's here. Okay. All right. Right there. Just play it. Y'all find my other part? Okay. Show that first. Let's show that before we play the movie. Put the book up there. Okay, and this is correlating in the Bible. Put the statement up there. That's in the book, and shrink it so that people can see it. Is that okay? All right. This is out of the Zondovan's Bible Dictionary. And white folks print these things, but it's the problem. All of a sudden, it's no good when we get hold to it. Until when we get the books, all of a sudden they're not canonical.
Right.
They're not factual. That's a damn shame. This is out of the Bible Dictionary. Let's read it. Come on, man. Let's get it in.
Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood.
So Ham was one of the sons of Noah. You had Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Shem is where the term Semitic comes from. Shem is the brother to Ham. He's also the brother of Japheth. Okay, all three of those sons came out of Noah. So read that again.
The youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood.
This is about Ham. Go ahead.
And one of 8 persons to live through the flood.
Because Ham, you had Ham, Shem, and Japheth, Noah, and their wives. That's 8 people. Go ahead.
He became the progenitor.
He became the father
of the dark races.
So who is it talking about? Ham. Ham became the father of the dark races. Listen to what it's going to say next.
Not the Negroes.
So when the brother said that we are Shemitic, he's telling you because that's in the books. The dictionary itself is saying all of the black races that come out of Ham is excluding the Negro, which means in order for them to put that in writing, they have to know where the Negro came from.
Right.
They know we're the Jews. Just on that alone. Just because it's written that way, they said Ham was the father of the dark races, but he was not the father of the people you call Negroes. Okay? Are not the Negroes, quote unquote, dark? That's why they call us Negroes.
Right.
So why is it that they excluded us from Ham? Because they know we're not Hamitic, we're Shemitic.
But you can't see it. But you can't see it.
But you can't, even though they show it to you, the white man, the so-called white man says you better unsee it. You better unhear it. The diabolical beast. Read.
Not the Negroes.
He's not the father of the Negroes. But who is he the father of?
But the Egyptians.
So the Egyptians, go ahead.
Ethiopians.
The Ethiopians. So you're talking about blood brothers. The Egyptians are blood brothers to the Egyptians. To the Ethiopians. Go ahead.
Libyans.
These the blood brothers to the Libyans.
And
That's
Canaanites.
North Africa. And Canaanites, South Africans. So what are you looking at here? The dark races that came out of Ham was the Egyptians, the Ethiopians. So that's the two we're gonna deal with, because that's what we did. That's what we're looking at in the film.
Right.
Go back to the video. Go back to the video.
So now that we said the Egyptians,
Right.
which that's who's supposed to be sitting on the on the throne.
All those
there.
supposed to be Egyptians there.
Right.
Damn. That's what daring you to say the truth.
But it said dark races.
Right. Go ahead, play it.
Ain't nobody dark in this video.
Ethiopia.
Hold up. No, you get ho. Let's get the words. Right there. Now, I don't want to let nothing get by, because our people will claim they didn't hear it. Go ahead. Hit me.
No need to tell you how I share her joy at your return.
No need, my brother. Great one, I bring you Ethiopia.
Damn. Stop it. We ain't got to go no further. That's played by Woody Strode. That's the actor, the black actor from the 60s. And I don't know who the sister is, but they were, as you can see, they're black. Notice that they did not make them white, because there ain't no way, and people ain't that damn afraid. There ain't nobody going to look at no white people and say these are Ethiopians. They're not going to do that. So they said we can't lie about that. But we're so bold with our terrorism, we will put blood brothers together. We'll have the Egyptians as white, and we'll have the Ethiopians as black, and put them in a movie and dare anybody to say something about it. Even though we put it in the history books that they are blood brothers. He was the father of the dark races. The Egyptians are dark people. The Ethiopians are dark people. So why did they separate it here? You want to know why they separated it there? Because if Moses was to look like in Ethiopian, if they would have had him the right color, that meant all of his people would have been that way. Give me Numbers 12. Give me Numbers 12 and 10.
And Bishop, when we get there, can we? Captain Amaziah was saying that Bishop wants to look up the dark-skinned Hebrews to go along with what we just read here about the definition of Ham.
Right. What do you mean? What do you mean to look up the dark-skinned Hebrews in the dictionary?
It said the definition to go with Ham being dark-skinned of the Hebrews.
I don't know what he sent you. Did he send you something?
No, he didn't send me nothing. But I guess it's something.
So bring it out,
because
I don't know what you. Right. Bring it out.
Well, go ahead and read that, and y'all look up dark skin of the Hebrews.
Numbers chapter 12 and verse 10. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous.
Miriam was Moses' sister. Miriam became what?
Leprous.
She became leprous. Go ahead.
White as snow.
Whoa. She became leprous. She became white as snow. Let me show you how evil these so-called white people are. They will say, when you read in the beginning of the chapter, read the first couple of verses. Read the first couple of verses about the Ethiopian woman. They said they were mad at her. Stay with me, Eliakim.
Numbers chapter 12, verse 1. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses.
They spake against Moses.
Because of the Ethiopian woman.
Because she was of another nation. It's not, but these devils went and said that they were mad because he dealt with a black woman as if Moses was white. That's the lie that they have out here. They're saying that they were mad at Moses because he dealt with a black woman. And they're saying that he's a white man dealing with a black woman. But yet he passed for an Egyptian. Wow. You didn't know that? You never heard that before? That they say that.
They say that.
They say that. Now jump down to the verse that we was at.
Numbers chapter 12.
Because the reason why they was upset with him was because we were not supposed to deal with people of another nation. That was the point. Not her color. Everybody was black. We just read that. Read.
Numbers chapter 12, verse 10. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous.
So if she became leprous, that means what color was she? Black. Dark brown. Just like the Egyptians, just like Moses, just like all the people of the Bible. The only people that's outside of that color is Esau, which the Amalekites that came to the well. That was supposed to be the red people there.
And let's look up ruddy. That's the point that the bishop was
Okay,
saying.
I got that. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Do we have it?
Ruddy and Zondervan.
Do we have it? Because we don't have
No,
it. We
they
don't
look
have
it
it.
up.
Look, come on.
No, you keep going. They can look it up.
All right.
You know, Bishop, you said that they had the audacity, being so sure of themselves with the witchcraft of whitewashing, to fly to get their white selves or red selves into a plane and fly to Cairo, Egypt, so that they could shoot the movie in the middle of Africa.
Find it in there.
They did that with.
Say it again.
So you said that they filmed it in Cairo.
Yes,
Had
Cairo,
the audacity.
Egypt. Yes.
To go to the middle of Africa to shoot a movie talking about some weird African
That's
people.
the blatant disrespect they have for our intelligence. That's exactly what that means.
And they did that as well with the movie Dracula Untold, where you had a character who is supposed to be Vlad Tepes, who is fighting the Ottoman Turks, which is during the Byzantine Empire, our people.
You're going deep on it. But go ahead, hit it.
In the books that Bishop and them pull with the black images on the walls, those black images are from the buildings and the churches and the castles that they shot that movie in. So you look on the background of the wall and you see black images.
Black people, man. Even a movie called El Cid, they had the black people on the steps. All that, because like you said, they film them in these actual areas and got white people playing these parts. You find it?
No, y'all keep going. We'll find it here.
Numbers chapter 12 and verse 10. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous.
Yeah, we got it there. There it is. That's it on the screen.
Okay.
Read that.
Ruddy.
So we got to read that again, by the way. Yes, sir. But get this part here. Read that.
Ruddy, a word used to refer to a red or fair complexion in contrast to the dark skin.
So you got to look at those kinds of words. It says use a word used to refer to a red or fair complexion. That ain't got nothing to do with red. With ruddy. Ruddy means tender.
Right.
That's what it means. It means tender. It ain't got nothing to do with no damn red at all. The damn white man is a damn demon. And he's not no fair complexion either. That's another thing too that people be getting mixed up on. You be talking about someone. Well, what did he look like? They say, oh, he's fair skinned, and they think that fair skin means white folks. You understand? So I asked the question. I said, well, if fair skin is white people, then what kind of skin you have? Unfair? Because you got to think about it.
Right.
You got to think about the words that's being used. There ain't nothing fair about them. That's leprosy. That's what we read. That's what we reading.
Right.
We're reading what it really is. Talking about some fair complexion. But read the rest of it, because that's the part that the brothers are asking about. In what?
In contrast.
In contradiction. That's what it means. In contradiction to what?
To the dark skin.
To the black people. To the dark skin.
Of the Hebrews.
Wow. That's so the Hebrews are dark-skinned people. So what in the world were we looking at than the Ten Commandments? So let's go back to that thing again.
So they tried to cover up and mess up the definition of ruddy.
Exactly.
They snitched on themselves.
Exactly.
There
it is.
Exactly. Because again, that they expect our people to read that and go back to sleep. Just like in that book that me and Bishop bring out often about the early Spanish manuscript Illumination, when it reads about Christ. It says Christ in majesty. It said Christ whose darkened flesh tones give him an almost Negroid cast. And then you look at the picture, he's black.
Right. Almost Negro.
Almost Negroid cast.
Like you just ain't see.
Like you didn't see it. Like that's the disrespect that they have for our intelligence. Wow. Okay, and that's what they want us to stay in that stupor. But the reason why the whole point of me bringing all of this out, we know what the books really say, but we're terrorized in not bringing out the truth. And that's what I'm bringing up, okay? We're terrorized. We know what the facts are. Where you at? Let's get that numbers again.
Numbers, chapter 12 and verse 10. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous.
Miriam became leprous. She became leprous. Go ahead.
White as snow.
White as snow, meaning her brown color was missing.
And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous.
But looked upon their sister because she lost her pigment. Her melanin was gone.
Right.
That's the exact same condition as Esau.
Right.
Go ahead. Read on.
Verse 11. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us.
Because we all spoke against Moses. We should have kept our mouths shut. But the Most High jacked her up and didn't jack up Aaron. Go ahead.
Wherein we have done foolishly.
Wherein we have done foolishly. Come on.
And wherein we have sinned.
Wherein we have sinned because we spoke against the servant of the Most High. Go ahead. Which is Moses, the black man. Go ahead.
Let her not be as one dead.
Let her not be as one dead. When her brown color was missing, she's looking dead. Who's saying this? The Most High. Read.
Of whom the flesh is half consumed.
That's the word Esau right there. Of whom the flesh is half consumed. That's the word Esau there. To whom the flesh, the brown color was missing. So that's letting you know that that's talking about them. Okay? And when he cometh out of his mother's womb. Right. That's like Esau. So the brown color was gone. Okay? So now, give me 4 and 6. Exodus 4 and 6. Exodus 4 and 6. Watch this.
Exodus chapter 4 and verse 6.
And you notice something too. In this particular movie, they showed Moses doing the quote unquote Moses. I have a hard time with that. Show him doing the miracles to prove that the Lord was with him. He said, "Listen, I want you to go tell Pharaoh to let my people go." And Moses, I can't even refer to this. The real Moses was like, I'm going inside this powerful place. Are you with me? The Most High said, yeah, I'm with you. He said, throw down that staff, and he made it turn into a serpent. Okay, they showed that in the movie, but the miracle that they did not show was the one that we're about to read.
Right.
Read it.
Exodus chapter 4 and verse 6. And the Lord said furthermore unto him.
After the rods, now he said, I'm going to show you another miracle, Moses, that I'm with you. Listen to this.
Put now thy hand into thy bosom.
Put now your hand into your vesture, into your bosom. Go ahead.
And he put his hand into his bosom.
And he put his hand into his bosom.
And when he took it out.
And when he took his hand out.
Behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
His hand was white. His hand looked like Charleston Heston. His hand looked like Charleston Heston. His hand looked like Charlton Heston. So maybe people are confused. Keep reading.
And he said, put thy hand into thy bosom again.
Put your hand back into your bosom, Moses.
And he put his hand into his bosom again.
Uh-huh.
And plucked it out.
And when he plucked his hand out
of his bosom, and behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
It was turned again as his black flesh. That's what that's telling you. Where's that at in the Bible? What is wrong with these preachers? Why is it Geno Jennings? Oh, I'm talking about all of these preachers. Why they won't read this?
Right.
Because they are no different from the brothers that's being threatened. Because they got, I would imagine that there's some kind of contract with these preachers that they can't speak either.
Right.
Because we looking at the sports figures and the entertainers and all of that. These preachers are on the same kind of quote unquote contract that they cannot deal with the facts that's in the Bible. How in the world are they going to just omit this? Damn. All right. That's crazy. That's crazy. But that shows you that's the terrorism, and that's why I'm going through this segment here. Our people have been terrorized. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and also, Bishop, it's because, like you mentioned earlier, our people are indoctrinated. Hey, can y'all pull up that Facebook video I got? Our people have been indoctrinated by these people that do what? They run the system. They run the entertainment system. So you'll get movies like this with white men or red men playing so-called black men. You'll get that because you're indoctrinated. And I want to pull up this video because it shows one of the Amalekites actually admitting this is what they do. This is what they do in society. All right? They send your children off to these regular schools. Meanwhile, their children is getting that education that we're not getting. So play that real quick. Go ahead, the sound, y'all. The sound.
Of course, your father has talked about
Run it back.
If you ask me,
No one ever asked me. But if you ask me, this is probably the most important video to watch. It's just my opinion.
Not your father, my father Yahweh, who isn't your father. Of course, your father is talked about by my father in John 8:44, stating that your father was Satan and that you're the descendant of Cain, who was the first murderer. And you know that's true because you teach it in your synagogue. Well, that's true, but it's not for you going to know. But right now it's too late. It's over for you white race. So that's why I'm speaking so honestly here, to bring it out into the open so that you can see it for what it is. You've been teaching the people real good, but they don't wake up, do they? You don't get a lot of followers, do they? Because you know why? They're scared of us Jews because they don't want to be called anti-Semites, and they believe that we're the chosen people. And so that's why we can do whatever we want to do, and we can get away with it because the white men are cowards, and we go to the synagogue all the time and have some Manischewitz and dance the Hava Nagila. You know, it's interesting. I've told people for years and years, it's not that you Jews are hiding anything. You're coming right out on television, in the newspapers, on the radio, and you're telling the people exactly what you're going to do before you do it, and they're like they're brain dead.
For real.
Well, we did a good job with the public school system. We got you to put all of your children in there. You notice that the Jew doesn't put his children in there. They go to the Hebrew Academy where we teach them the real things, and then they go to the synagogue and they learn the real important things. But we send your kids to the public school. We even have you tax yourself from your property so that you never own your property. And so if you don't make your property tax, we're going to take your property. You can bet on that. And we have you put your kid in a 12-year babysitting is about all it does because you don't learn anything. And then by that time, the kids, they get to be teenagers, and then we give them the music. Not that we really want to call it music because
real quick. He's saying we give them the music, meaning they run the entertainment. They put their children in these schools where they're pretty much just being babysitted. They're talking about our people as well.
Right.
Where our kids are just being babysitted. They're not learning anything, but their kids are going to these schools and they're learning all these stuff that we're not allowed to read. That's right. That's the point.
Well, let me make a cross-sectional video that the brothers and sisters can really check out that could really just illuminate what's happening here. There's a video that we did years ago in New York called the educational system is an academic holocaust. There's a section in there where the white man basically calls the school system in-row cemeteries, and it's basically a pipeline to send them to prison, to make them wage slaves and all of that. That's what they deal with us. Okay, so brothers and sisters, check that video out. It's called the educational system, or the Board of Education. That's what it is. The Board of Education is an academic holocaust. Watch that video. Excellent video. It illuminates what we're trying to extract out of this here. Let me move on. But the video brought the word anti-Semitism up, so we're about to touch on to these things here. But what I want to say before that is that in reality, people know what the truth is. That's what I was illuminating earlier. They know that the Egyptians are black people. They know that. They know that what we read in that Bible about Moses, when he put his hand in his bosom and it came out leprous, meaning that's not his original color. And that's the reason why that last part, read that thing again, the last part of it, when it said, and it became as his other flesh. That's the part that I want them to pull out. It became as Moses' other flesh, meaning the rest of his flesh. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Read it.
It was turned again as his other flesh.
Read the statement before that.
And
go ahead, read.
And he said, put thy hand into thy bosom again.
But thy hand, because he had pulled it out the first time when he was showing him, he's saying his hand was leprous. So, go ahead.
And he put his hand into his bosom again.
He put his hand into his bosom again.
And plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again.
It was turned again. So that means the first time it looked like brown. Just like Woody Strode, just like what you was looking at on the screen, just like the pictures behind them on the walls. All of them were supposed to be black people in that movie. Go ahead.
It was turned again as his other flesh.
That's crazy. So again, these facts are in the Bible. The preachers know it. Ain't no way in the world you can be a preacher. Cannot be. Listen to me.
Right. So
A
smart.
preacher can't be in church more than 5 years and did not come across some Israelite teaching showing that Jesus Christ is black. Let's just stop there. There's no preacher nowhere. You're not going to convince me that all of the Negro preachers, there's not one of them that has not heard that Jesus Christ is black. But yet he's over a congregation. You feel me? The preacher is over the congregation with black people in there. And as he see our people are suffering from psychological hang-ups about their own skin, suffering from psychological hang-ups about the color of their hair, the texture of their hair, the shape of their noses and lips and all that, where they're getting all kinds of skin cut up this and all right. So there's an issue with our image. And the preacher ain't saying nothing. He's not bringing none of this out. But he had to have heard that Jesus Christ is black. It would behoove a man of God to say, you know what, let me see if that's the real case.
And they know.
That's what I'm saying. They know it. So what's stopping them from bringing out this truth is exactly what I've been reading about in Isaiah 14. And he will deliver us from the fear and from the sorrow, from the fear, from the hard bondage wherein we were made to serve. That fear is terrorism. Our people are terrorized to keep teaching lies. They're terrorized. Even though we'll show you the facts, you better not react to it. You better not repeat it. You better not say no. Look, the brother said, listen, how in the world am I going to be anti-Semitic when I know who I am? Right. That's a fact. They said, even though it's in a dictionary, even though Amazon made the movie, we're going to let all of that slide, but you better not deal with it. You better not repeat it.
You better not say nothing.
You better not say nothing. That's terrorism.
I don't care if it's out there.
I don't care if it's out there.
You just don't say
You
nothing
better not
about
say
it.
I don't care if you see that we got Yul Brynner and white people playing as the Egyptians. We don't care about that. We don't care if you put Woody Strode and that black woman in the give me that. And the black woman in there as the as the Ethiopians. We don't care if you even come to your senses and realize that we lied. You better not say it. You better not teach that in your churches. That's the terrorism that we as a people face. Right. And why in the world will we be comfortable and want the system to continue to go on when we cannot be men? That's the reason why I played that clip in the beginning. The brother was saying Malcolm was not allowed to live, to be a man, because he was showing that, in the terms of us back then, many years ago. But that was our level of manhood. They say you're not allowed to do that because other people might be inspired by that. So the message is we're going to kill him and we're going to kill anybody else. We're gonna fry Ye. We're going to fry Kyrie. We're going to fry, what's the other brother? Deshaun Jackson. Right. We're going to fry Nick Cannon. That's what they're doing. That's how this thing goes. Okay?
I don't care how much money you got.
Yes.
You know, you can't even enjoy that money by being in this system thinking, and you can't even speak the truth.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't even speak about the atrocities that happen to your people. That's not freedom. I don't care how much money they give you.
Right.
You know you can't enjoy that money because you
had to sell yourself.
You had to sell your soul out.
Right.
It's
right.
not
And live the rest of your life being a phony or fake.
Exactly.
Knowing your people being oppressed.
Right.
Knowing they destroying your people. Knowing they destroyed your people.
Right.
And then you can't even speak on it.
And the worst thing about it is that, like the Bible says, there is a spirit in man. And that spirit is going to be your conscience that's going to constantly weigh on you and say, why won't you tell the truth?
Right.
You've seen it. You know it. Why can't you speak? And the moment you come to recognize that speech, once you come to recognize that voice in you, another voice will come up and say, you better not say nothing because you're going to be terrorized. So now you got duality going on in your spirit. Now you got a duality in terms of what I should do and what I'm afraid to do. And our people live that way constantly. We live that way. That's terror. I want to get into these things, okay? Like I said, let me just read this so I can get back on track. Thank you, brothers, for everything that you brought out. I say, in reality, people in their spirit, they know what the truth is. It's just that fear and terrorism is used to repress the truth that people already know. They, like I said, these preachers know that they've heard the Israelites teach that Jesus is black. They know that.
Yeah.
They'll know stuff like that, what that Charlton Heston, they know that Moses didn't look like that. They know that. But they can't say anything. Okay? And whenever they attempt to mention and stand on the truth, they become the subject of terrorism. Terrorism. Everybody's talking now. I know I'm using the strong word because our people have been brainwashed to think that terrorism deals with overseas and Saddam Hussein and what's this other guy, Osama bin Laden and all that. Black people are the victims of the greatest terrorism anywhere.
Oh, it gets worse.
Black people are the let me say it again. Black people, black and Hispanic, the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel is the greatest example of a terrorized people. When you cannot even acknowledge facts and stand on it, without you being vilified, without you being stigmatized, without you being shunted and ostracized, all of those. And we have to reject it, act like we don't see it. Don't show me that, because if you show me that proof, my actions may begin to change, and so-called master might see that. And I know I'm going to face the backlash. Let's move on with it. Oxford, put up my next screen. Repression. Let's get through these things, because I was talking about terrorism. I'm going to look up repression and terrorism. Let's read these things here.
Repression.
I got several of them. Come on.
Repression, the act of using force to control a group of people and restrict their freedom.
That's exactly what repression is. Read it again.
The act of using force.
Using force. Force does not always have to be at the end of a gun. Force could be we'll cut your money off. Force could be we would mess up your loans. We would rig laws to oppress you. We will pull opportunities away from you. We will make it hard. We will fire you so that you can't take care of your family. You'll mention something truthful, and they will take food out of your mouth basically by saying, you know, you weren't supposed to say that because we set up a people that we call Jews, and your speech affected them. So we're going to use that as a reason to take food out of your mouth. When the brothers that's trying to tell the truth know that it's the truth, and he has to succumb. He has to apologize for bullshit. He has to succumb. He has to cow down. He has to swallow and move facts away and acquiesce to lies. That's terrorism. Read that again. That's repression.
Repression, the act of using force to control a group of people and restrict their freedom.
Is an act using force to control a group of people, meaning the Israelites, to do what?
And restrict their freedom.
Restrict their freedom. Our people are not free at all. Don't even think about it. We're not free in this setup at all, not even a little bit. Give me the next screen. I got repression again. Read that one.
Repression, the act of using force to control a group of people and limit their freedom.
So limit your freedom, meaning that we'll give you a little bit. We'll give you a good contract. We give you basketball. We give you football. We give you this kind of job. But you better not say nothing that's truthful, which is because you are the Jews. You're the Israelites, and you better not say that. We'll take that from you. That's repression. Go ahead. That's it on that, right? Give me the next screen. Repression again. Come on.
Repression, Cambridge Dictionary. The use of force or violence.
Hold it. Of what?
Or violence.
Violence. Go ahead.
To control a group of people.
When our people get choked to death in the street, and we watch that happen, that's violence. They don't do white people that way. They don't happen to other nations. That only happens to us. And even in that, that's an act of repression. That's an act of control. You'll be driving your car. You ain't doing the speed. You ain't speeding or nothing. You're not doing any. You're the most law-abiding citizen of all times behind the wheel. The speed limit is 55. You going 54. You ain't even trying to rock the boat. But yet, when that car comes up, that police car comes up on you, all of a sudden you start straightening up. White people don't have that fear at all. I'm driving on these highways, man. White people be in that damn on what's those cars? Those Dodgers with all the mufflers on them. The SRT, them Chargers. Man, them dudes be passing me doing 100 miles an hour. I'm dead serious.
Yeah,
like it's legal.
Like it's legal.
Right. Fast and furious
listen,
out there.
I'm on the highway. The speed limit is 70. I'm doing 69. The dude passed by me like as if I'm stopped. Boom. Right. And I mean dipping.
Yeah.
In and out, wagging and all of that.
Right. We see it all the time.
And I know that's white boys. Negroes ain't doing that.
No, ain't no way.
On the way down here, I'm coming down 85. It's a motorcycle.
Right.
It's a motorcycle going 100. He got to be going 150. I'm going 75. He shot by me like he's going 150, 160.
Exactly.
And he went in between.
Yeah.
In between me and the car that was in the other lane.
Damn.
Going about 150. Just like
like it's done. I've seen cars go that fast.
Yeah,
these Dodgers that they have out here, those cars move.
Yeah, them Hellcats,
them Hellcat, all of that, and they be running every bit of it too.
You're right, Bishop.
They be running every bit of it.
Yeah,
but that shows you that we are a terrorized people. There was a book that I have called. It was written by this Edomite, surprisingly, named Andrew Hacker. It's called Two Nations. And he illuminates that what I just said about how we would drive the speed limit because we know that we just can't speed. So we live totally different. This is an Edomite bringing this out. So they know the sickness of us, So, but I'll go into that another time. So is that it on the repression? So it says what?
The use of force or violence.
Oh, violence. Go ahead.
To control a group of people.
People. You want to know what that is also? Assassinations. Assassination. Why would they assassinate Malcolm X? Why would they assassinate? And even though they got Negroes to pull the trigger, there's still white folks behind it.
Right.
Why would they murder or assassinate Dr. Martin Luther King? He was a quote-unquote man of peace. Why would they murder Medgar Evers, Della Beckworth? Why would they do that to him? Why would they murder the four little girls in the church in Montgomery? Bomb them up. That's because when those things will happen, when we was going across the Pettus Bridge and all of that, in what's that, Mississippi? Where's that? No, that's in Alabama also, right? Montgomery.
Yes, sir.
The bridge, the Pettus Bridge, that famous bridge. I keep forgetting where that bridge is at. But anyway, when we was I'm getting my history mixed up. But when we was trying to march, they ran our people down. All the cops just ran them down with rolling cameras for the world to see how they were treating us. Sick dogs on us, biting the groin off of black men, biting the breast off of women, and all of that. All of that is terrorism. Selma, right? Alabama. Thank you.
Alabama.
That's where it was. Selma.
Thinking, right.
The Pettus Bridge, Selma, Alabama. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So, these are actions of terror. Read that again.
Repression. The use of force or violence.
When you murder and assassinate and choke someone to death.
To control a group of people.
Just to let them know that if you step out of line, this could happen to you. That's the psychological. That's what we carry. And it's like another self that's with us. And meanwhile, you have the real self that's saying, you need to bring this truth out. But then that terrorized self that says, if you do, this is going to happen to you. So that's how we live. Go ahead.
Do you want the bottom definition part of that as well?
Come on.
And when you finish that, go back to the first one Bishop brought out. But go ahead.
Come on.
Yes, sir. The process and effect of keeping particular thoughts and wishes out of your conscious mind in order to defend or protect it. So the thought that we're the Israelites, they have to keep those thoughts out of our conscious mind.
Right, exactly.
So they repress us to do so.
That's it. That's the point there.
Can you go back to the first
And notice that was Cambridge Dictionary, by the way.
Right. Did we read the number?
No, I didn't read anything else.
No, sir.
Read that one at the bottom, number 2.
Yes, sir. Second definition. Repression. The act of controlling strong emotions and desires and not allowing them to be expressed so that they no longer seem to exist.
I don't know how you missed that, Bishop.
No, I put it up there and I forgot to speak on that. Read that again.
The act of controlling strong emotions and desires and not allowing them to be expressed.
Repression is the definition of being repressed. Of repression is the act of controlling strong emotions. When wickedness happens to us, when murder happens to us in the street, when our brothers get shot, lynched, burned, killed, whatever, and we want to react because of it, they will use repression to control your strong emotions and your desires to be free, and not allow those voices to be heard, not allow those voices to be expressed. And the repression is so great, it will cause them to no longer seem to exist.
Right.
That's why they're getting rid of CRT. That's the reason why when you go inside the churches and try to bring up these very same things, they say that's long gone because it doesn't exist anymore. Wow. That's repression. This is a word that we don't use too much in the Israelite community.
You're right.
But repression is a hell of a thing. Being a people that's repressed, meaning like you are a kettle on a stove, and you plug it up,
right?
And the steam is just building and building and building, and you don't get to let it off,
right?
So you just sit there with it, angry, frustrated, mad, and can't release it. It will drive you crazy.
And that's what you see Ye doing.
Exactly.
That's what
and
happened.
they said, we're going to keep putting the pressure on him until he breaks.
The top came off. They had to put the top back on. They try to keep the top sealed down, ain't they?
Yeah, And they got, and this thing goes deep because they have controlled releases. They'll do certain things like put a video on or let them do something to release some of them or send you some old smiling Negro to calm things down. That's to let off a little bit of steam. Or they'll get some Edomite to say, you know what, the Jews are black. And now all of a sudden black people go, say, okay, yeah, he said it. We're all good now. Meanwhile, you're still getting treated like shit.
Wow.
Put up terrorism. Terrorism. I had another definition. Terrorism. Okay, look like I gotta follow y'all along. Terrorism. Don't tell me I didn't put terrorism up there. Look it up. Just look it up. Look it up. I don't think I sent it. I didn't.
You got it.
I forgot to send it. Y'all got it?
He pulling it up now.
Okay. Terrorism. Okay. Now, let's zoom in on that.
Terrorism. The unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians.
Against black people. Read it again.
The unlawful.
So you're thinking that is Saddam Hussein. You're thinking that is Osama bin Laden and these other, Gaddafi and, and Noriega and all that. Read it again.
Terrorism.
Because we've been seduced into thinking that we are not a terrorist. I really want us to get to know what that word terrorize. And that's in the Bible. The Lord said he will consume us with terror. This is what it's talking about. Them that hate us will rule over us. They're terrorizing us. We are a terrorized people. From your basketball players, from your people in the movies, big time, whatever. We are all terrorized. Well, we can't speak as men supposed to be able to speak. Go ahead, read that.
The unlawful use of violence.
The unlawful use of violence. When them 4 girls were bombed in the church, that was an unlawful use of violence. And what else is terrorism?
And intimidation.
And it is designed to intimidate us. That's what's happening with these ball players and these rappers and all that. They're being intimidated. Listen, we'll show you your contract. We're going to cut off Adidas. We're going to cut off this. We're going to cut off that. That's intimidation. Simply because he spoke a word. Did he say anything offensive? No. He spoke the truth. Now, if people react to the truth because they're trying to say, because they say that hate crimes against so-called Jews has gone up. Well, I'm going to touch that. That's why I got to move on in my lesson. I got to get these points out because you want to talk about hate crimes that went berserk as a result of what white folks did to us. We're going to bring those parts in. Okay, so I'm gonna save that. But read that again.
the unlawful use of violence and
I'm
intimidation,
gonna move a little faster because I'm getting behind.
especially against civilians,
Against black and Hispanic, the Israelites. Go ahead.
in the pursuit of political aims.
In pursuit of political aims. The political aims is to keep y'all as niggas.
Right.
That's what their political aim is. Their political aim is for you not to wake up, for you to continue to only get a job, but don't own anything. Don't organize among yourselves. Everybody else is allowed to do this, but we can't do this. That's what terrorism, our people have been terrorized to even be afraid of the thought. That's why we was reading that in the Repression. The Repression said the same thing. It says that the repression will be on us so much that we will even forget. That's what it said. Go back to that Repression again. Because it's all, terrorism and repression are synonymous. They basically go together. Look at that bottom part. The act of controlling one's emotions and desires and not allowing them to be expressed to the point so that they no longer seem to exist. So we won't even remember that we are oppressed. We will forget our aims. We will forget what we will forget that we are the Israelites. We will forget that what we're supposed to be doing. The repression is designed to just make you just stone cold give up. Mm-hmm. Okay, now let's move on. Now, give me we looked up Semitism earlier. Okay, anti-Semitism. So we looked up Semitism in the beginning of the show. Let's put it up there again just for the sake of getting it up there. I'm trying to move a little faster. Okay.
Semitic.
Read it.
Relating to or denoting a family of languages that includes Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic, and certain ancient languages such as Phoenician and Akkadian, constituting the main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family.
Black people. So here it is in a dictionary. Oxford Dictionary. Oxford Dictionary. Oxford. Oxford Dictionary. But you better not say it. You better not say it.
All right.
Afro, black people, Semites. So when the brother said that, how in the world can I be anti-Semite when I know where I'm come from? He knows that he's not on the ham because your own dictionaries confirm that. But yet we read it. You say, yeah, although it's written in there, you better not repeat it. You better apologize to the people that we said that are sitting in your seat. You got to really think about that. Here you have a manufactured people sitting on a throne that belongs to you. That's our Bible. Our Bible has our name in it, has our history in it. It's ours. We're supposed to be in it. They said, no, we're going to put somebody else in there, and if you want it back, you're anti-Semitic because you're speaking against the people that we put you in there.
Like, no, it's them.
It's them.
Yeah.
Right.
Not y'all.
It's not y'all. It's them.
Yeah,
But the book says it's us. And we can
them.
reads now, like the brother said. I can reads. We can reads now.
And then you hear them even ask them, "Are you a part of Black Hebrew Israelites?"
Black Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah, basically what it's saying, who learned you, man?
Right. But even in that term, when they said the Black Hebrew Israelites, because they're trying to say, well, y'all are the black ones.
Right.
Like Ye was saying, they busted them. They got him. They got him. I heard him on some part of it. I just want y'all to know that we're Jews too. No.
Yeah.
No. It's only one Jew, the Israelites.
He got to fix that.
Yeah. But that's what that terrorism did.
Right. Throwed him off there.
That terrorism, when they will continue to apply the pressure until you break. We're gonna show you that. We're gonna show you that. Black and Hispanic people know about terrorism and repression because that's all we go through that. We've been through that. I'm moving on. Give me my books because I want to talk about terrorism real quick. Give me They Stole It. They Stole It. That first black book right there. Click that. Let's move a little faster. Show that on the screen. I've shown this book before. They Stole It, but you must return it. Let's go inside the book. Okay. Zoom in. Is that is that the first? Let me see. Is that the first page that popped up? Okay. What's the pages after it? Let me just see what's after it. Nah, that's the one I need. That's the first page. Click that. Read that.
Chapter 1. They stole it, but you must return it.
Come on.
They stole it, but you must return it is an unusual title. They refers to white America, and you refers to black America. Usually, the thief must take the responsibility and pay equal.
Yeah, drink some water. And pay equal value for what he stole. However, in white America, this does not happen. They stole it, but you must return it. This is the section that I want right here. Black America. Let me just read that to keep it moving. Black America, this is what we got to realize as the Israelites. You are a miracle. You are the product of the greatest survivors on earth. That's what I was saying about us being terror. We are the victims of the greatest acts of terror. To know the truth, to be exposed to the truth and can't speak it. When you are forced, like Public Enemy said in one of his records, it's amazing I remember so much of the stuff that was said in his records. He said, living ain't the word I've been given. Because we're alive, but we're not really living. We don't really get to live. And that's what the brother was saying. Malcolm X didn't really get a chance to live. We're just existing, but we don't really get to live. And that's how we feel. That's the reason why a lot of us got psychological problems and all that, because these battle of spirits is going on in us. Knowing what's supposed to be normal, but we're forced to ignore that to the point where normality doesn't exist, just like the repression. Go ahead. Read.
Black America, you are a miracle.
Come on.
You are the product of the greatest survivors on earth.
Come on.
For any group to experience the cruelty, brutality, and wickedness that was thrust upon you by white America,
and
survive the experience with any semblance of sanity is a miracle.
And with any semblance of sanity, if you even have a glimmer of sanity, that's a miracle. That's how far we're supposed to be destroyed. If we have 2% of sanity, that's a miracle. That's showing you how great the terror is. The terror that they did to us, we're supposed to have absolutely negative numbers in sanity. Our sanity is supposed to register in the negative numbers. If we have 2% of sanity, that's a miracle. When in contrast to the hell that they put on us, to the terror and the repression that they put upon us. Everybody that's listening to this, they know what I'm saying is true. But when they go outside, whenever they deal, they're going to feel exactly what I'm talking about. They're going to feel the repression. They're going to feel the terrorism. Because our people feel it every day. Come on.
But that survival experience has left some long-lasting consequences.
Post-traumatic slave syndrome. Left some long-lasting consequences. Go ahead.
Consequences that affect black Americans today.
And it affect us right now. That's the reason why these pharmaceuticals make billions and billions of dollars off of our misery. Okay, the psychiatric hospitals, even though they got ESO in them, a few of them, because they all supposed to be locked up. But the majority of our people going in there is because of the environment that's around them. Our people lost their way because we lost it. We lost it, trying to figure it out, and nobody's showing us, we're in a game of fools without the rules, basically. We're in a game of fools without the rules.
Bars.
Yeah, that's Public Enemy again. And they got a nerve to criticize. So there you go. Go to the next. Let's show you some of the terrorist acts that still affect us today. Next page. Read that.
Chapter 3. What did white America do to the black mother? The slaves experienced a breaking in period.
They had to break us. That's what they did to Ye. That's what they did to Nick Cannon. That's what they did to Deshaun Jackson. That's what they're trying to do to Kyrie. To break them in. You're an uppity nigga. That's what they're saying. Go ahead.
During this
they
period,
broke Ice Cube.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. They didn't get to break Khalid Muhammad. They killed his ass. They say he was too damn rough for him. He said, hell no. He was too rough. He said, nah, this dude just got to die. So we ain't going to get to break him.
He ain't going to break.
Right. Go ahead.
During this period, it was the purpose of the slave owners to break the spirits of their captives and mold them into...
To break the spirit of their captives and to mold them. Do y'all hear this? To mold, to shape, to make the Negro. To create that's what they're saying. To break who they really are, to break them from... That's in the Bible. That's in the Psalms. Give me that. Give me that. Psalms 83. Psalms 83. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Psalms 83. Just get to the point.
Psalms chapter 83 in verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They're breaking us. Go ahead.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
We're the hidden ones. Who in the world are they talking about that they Jews? The Most High is saying that the real Jews are hidden. Go ahead.
They have said, come, and let us cut them off.
Come and let us, the nations, cut
them off.
Cut them off
from being a nation.
This is another truth that our people will read and know it, and they still will have these basketball. What's these dudes, Shannon and what's these Negroes that's on the
Charles Barkley. He's a straight gun.
Shaq and all
They
that.
will read this. And they were still talking about but Kyrie is anti-Semitic. Reading what they would literally read this, and this is in all the Bibles. Read that again. This is what I'm talking about. Men that cannot be men. How in the hell could you be happy here? Knowing that you cannot speak facts and truth. Come on, read.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Cut them, the Jews, cut the Israelites off from being a nation. So that's what made them hidden. Go ahead.
That the name of Israel.
That the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
That's why they call us Negroes. That's why they call us Hispanics. That's why they call us Indians, West Indians and all that garbage. Because they took the real name of us off. Therefore, our real identity is hidden. And if any of us come up and say that we are the chosen, that we are Shemitic, we are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, they say, no, you are going against these people that we manufactured. Yeah, I'm saying it that way. They manufactured these people. They're not Jews at all.
Right.
They're Hebrews, but they're not Jews. They're Semitic because they come out of Esau. So I got to get to these points. I got all that information in here. Let's read on. That was it, right?
Yes,
that
sir.
they made what? Read that statement again.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That the name of Israel may be no more in their mind. Give me Isaiah 1 and 3. Because if you're talking about a people that have lost their memory, what the bishop went over the program last week. Racial amnesia. This is us. Racial amnesia. How the hell are you going to say that that's these people talking about they Jews? That's not them. And you know it.
Isaiah.
And then here they go, but you're angry. You're trying to hurt people with your words. They'll say any of that just to ignore what they're hearing. That's exactly what repression is.
Anti-Semitic statement.
Yeah, they use that to say, we didn't want to hear nothing. When they're really fulfilling, I'm talking about black people that do this. They're really fulfilling what we read in repression. Because the repression on them is so great, they will act like they did not hear anything that we're saying. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 1.
I thought it was absolutely funny. Deacon Abiel showed something in his class last week. CNN, Caucasian News Network, did a whole story on hearsay. Wow. It was the funniest thing. I could not stop laughing. They actually took a statement that was hearsay and made a whole article. This was newsworthy on hearsay. No fact check, no nothing. Just because somebody said it. Meanwhile, we was in Chicago. We was in 7 Mile in Detroit. The roughest one of the roughest areas in America. Yep. We were there showing that brothers could work it out. Where's the love? You want us to love so-called Jews? Where's the love for us? You know the gang violence that's going on in these communities. The fact that we were there trying to show, and sisters crying because they never seen, that shows you repression. Why was the sister crying? Why was she crying? Because she's finally seen something that she's been wanting to see. Why wasn't she seeing it before? Because it was because of repression. Her real self was repressed. And when she saw us, she was relieved. That's why, and those tears came down that woman's face. Because she's actually seeing what my heart been trying to see for the longest. But yet, no media coverage. But yet, CNN, supposed to be, quote unquote, the bastion of news, one of the bastions of news journalism. But they're going to do a whole article, a page on hearsay. But meanwhile, over 2,000 men marching in solidarity in the roughest area in the damn country, on the damn near world-renowned road of destruction for our people. We down there showing that brothers can be civilized. Brothers can be in order. Brothers can be upstanding, righteous brothers, and no news media covered it at all. Repression. Where we at? Read.
Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel does not know.
The true Israelites do not know who their owner is. They don't know that they're the Israelites because of what we read in the Psalms. We don't know where our homeland is because of what we read in the Psalms. Do that fit these so-called Jews? These people that you call Jews?
No, sir.
They look like Charleston Heston. How in the hell are you going to say that those are the... I'm telling you, these are the things that we know. That's why I say we know these things. Right. Jesus Christ was a Jew himself. Mm-hmm. He didn't look like them. Mm-mm. They lied on Christ. They lied on the Israelites. They lied on the real Christians. They lied on all of us. Right. And we know it. But we can't say nothing. We can't say anything about it because of the repression and the terrorism that we're going to face. The backlash. Like my sister Nina Simone mentioned in her song, Mr. Backlash. A lot of people don't know about that thing. I got her lyrics here. We're going to show it to you in a minute. So that was it, right? Read that.
My people do not consider.
The reason why we don't consider is because of what we read earlier. Because it said that the repression was so great that it'll cause our people to, what did it say? That it no longer exists. Mm-hmm. We don't even care. Right. That's how bad the oppression came on us. The repression pushed us down so far that we won't even ask about it. That we won't even ask when a son comes to his father and says, Dad, show me that Jesus Christ is black. The father says, "Why? Who you been talking to?" Y'all looking at me strange. I didn't have to have that happen to me personally, but I know that's the spirit that comes. Everybody knows. The brothers in the booth, y'all know what it is.
Right. Yeah. Right. You got
grown
you can
men.
Feel
it. Grown men.
Right.
They say, "Who you been talking to?" What's wrong? Can I just ask a question? We can't even ask the question. That's crazy. That's repression. Read. That's why I said that. It says our people do not even consider. Why they can't consider? Because of the repression and the terrorism. You better not even mention it, or we're gonna Nick Cannon your testicles out. Dang. We're gonna neuter you. We're gonna neuter all the brothers. Kendrick Lamar. They shut him out. He ain't made another record since.
Nope. Ain't heard nothing from him.
Dealing with that. All of these brothers. Telling you, terrorism. So that's why Psalms said what it said, that the name of Israel, you back in Psalms?
Yes, sir.
Read that.
Psalms chapter 83 and verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So this was the breaking in period. That's why I went to. They had to do all of this to break us. To break us. Go back to where we was reading. What did they do to the black mother and the black family?
Yes, sir. Paragraph 2. To accomplish this.
To accomplish this breaking in period.
Blacks were forced to watch some of the cruelest acts ever witnessed by mankind.
This is terrorism again. Come on.
One such act was a forced tying of a naked black pregnant woman to a tree.
To a woman that's pregnant with a stomach full of new life. Go ahead.
The scared stares of her fellow slaves must have been pain to her mind.
Go ahead.
The sun that once soothed her must have been pain to her body.
Read.
But the greatest pain of all.
But the greatest terror. Go ahead.
Must have been the sight of the white maniac, the slave owner.
This is how all of our people feel when we try to stand up for justice. Now, they just grabbed this woman. She probably didn't want, she was probably pregnant by somebody else that the master didn't want. It could have been any damn thing because they used to breed us. You go lay down with so-and-so. I don't want you with him because you laying with him ain't going to give me the kind of buck that I want. So you went and got pregnant by so-and-so. So we're going to wait for that baby to get big enough in your belly, and we're going to do what we're going to do to terrorize not only you, well, we're going to kill you because she's going to die, and everybody else watching is going to be terrorized because of this. This is what happened to us. This is not a dream. This is not a fairy tale. These are the things that literally happened to us, and we did not get any therapy from none of this. That's why I said that it's a miracle that any of us even have a glimmer of sanity with us now. Read.
For in his hand was a large knife. This knife announced pain and death.
Go ahead.
The slave owner would take the knife, plunge it into her abdomen.
Man, made everybody watch. Go ahead.
And cut her belly open.
Cut her belly open. Come on.
Then he would pull the unborn baby out of this dying mother and throw its helpless life to the ground.
Now, why would you do this? Why would you do this? The mother's dead already because she's looking at this man. She's tied to a tree. There's black men that's made to watch this. Imagine her looking at, these are supposed to be men that's supposed to be able to protect me. So the respect goes out the window because he can't do nothing. So she's got to look at, with the last seconds of her life, she's looking at black men that cannot do nothing for her. While he comes there with a knife and stabs it into her stomach and rips her stomach open and puts his nasty mange, gonorrhea, syphilis hands, like Khalid said, and reached in there and pulled the unborn baby out, throw the baby down on the ground, and smash the baby's head with his white boot heel. That's what he did. And made all of the women and the brothers watch to make them afraid. That's exactly what they're trying to, that's what they did to on the Kanye. All of these people that try to stand up to terrorize them in front of everybody. Same deal. All right. So that's it on that. Now, go back to terrorism. The definition. Was it, there was, no, I don't need no more. Go back to terrorism. Yeah, yeah. Oh, destruction of the Indies. Because that was, let's see. Actually, there was another definition of terrorism that I wanted, because that one ain't good enough. But give me my other book. Read the other book. Come down. Listen to me. Stop moving. Move the books down. That one right there. Click that.
Bartolomé de las Casas, a short account of the destruction of the Indies.
Okay. So this right here was the account of what happened in Hispaniola. This is Northern Kingdom. Zoom in so I can see where I want to start. I ain't going to read all of this. They went, when they started out in Hispaniola, which is the Santo Domingo in Haiti now. This is what the writers, the people that were with them, De La Casas actually, he's the one that's recording this. And he's giving accounts of what happened there. I want to move around. I want to move down. It might not even be on this page. Move down. It was the locals. Okay. Their weapons, however, were flimsy and ineffective in the attack. Move to the next page. That's page 14. Move to the next page. 15. Jump up. What page is that? 15? Okay. I'm just trying to look for some parts.
They grabbed suckling.
Yes. Let's see. No. Jump up. I got it. Start right there. They forced their way into the native settlements. Wait. No, you got to go to the other page. I want to read all of this. Go back to stay with me, brothers. That was page 15. Go to the page that at the bottom. Start with the bottom. Their weapons.
Sir. Their weapons, however, were flimsy and ineffective.
This is talking about us trying to fight back. It was then that the locals began to think of ways of driving the Europeans out of their lands. That's the part I'm starting with. Okay, because it says the European commanders had raped the wife of the paramount chief. Do you see that? Move the hand up so you can see it. Say the Christians punched them. Up, brothers.
The Christians
right there.
punched them.
Just start reading there. Come on.
Sir. The Christians punched them, boxed their ears, and flogged them in order to track down the local leaders.
They were trying to find out where the leaders were. Like they always want to find the leaders, because once they kill the leaders, they figure that the rest of the people gonna just go. Once smite the shepherd, and the people will be left with no direction. That's their objective here. Read.
And the whole shameful process came to a head when one of the European commanders raped the wife of the paramount chief of the entire island.
Damn, that's what they wanted to do. So they wanted to completely break the spirit of Simeon. Northern Kingdom. Terror. Read.
It was then that the locals began to think
you see what these bastards just did? We got to get these bastards out of here. That's how they're thinking. Go ahead.
It was then that the locals began to think up ways of driving the Europeans out of their lands and to take up arms against them.
Go ahead.
Their weapons.
They were terrorists, I guess, because they're trying to get this terrorist out of there because they fought back. Now That's basically what they're saying. You cannot defend yourself without being called a terrorist.
You let me do what I want to do.
You let me do what I want. I want to rape you. I want to pillage you. I want to rob you. And you better not say nothing.
Yeah, let me do what I want to do.
I don't know why in the world would you not pray for the destruction of your enemies, man, to get us the hell out of this BS?
Right,
It don't even sound right.
Damn.
Just let me do what I
These
want to do.
bastards come over here and do all this evil to these brothers. Come on, man. Read.
Their weapons, however, were flimsy and ineffective, both in attack and in defense.
They could not attack and they could not defend because they didn't have that kind of. They did not need to make weapons because they was there at peace with themselves. Read.
And indeed, war in the Americas is no more deadly than our jousting.
So they were just busy like jousting.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Next page. Come on. Let's keep this thing going.
Or than many Europeans' children's games.
So the way we would joust be like a game. Go ahead.
And with their horses and swords and lances,
come on,
the Spaniards easily fended them off, killing them and committing all kind of atrocities against them.
Hey, Northern Kingdom, pay attention. This is you. This is happening to Northern Kingdom. This is Santo Domingo. So you can understand clearly. Hispaniola. This is Hispaniola. Go ahead.
They forced their way into native settlements, slaughtering everyone they found.
Everyone that they found. Go ahead.
Found there, including small children,
read,
old men, pregnant women.
Damn. Go ahead.
And even women who had just given birth.
Did you see this? That just giving birth. That's what these Spaniards did. Read.
They hacked them to pieces.
They hacked the brothers and sisters. They hacked the women to pieces. Go ahead.
Slicing open their bellies with their swords as though it were so many sheep herded into a pen.
Go ahead.
They even laid wagers on whether
they even took bets. This is what I was mentioning in the class the other day. The brothers on the set don't know what I'm talking about. But this is what I was talking about. This was the part. Read that statement again.
They even laid wagers on whether they could manage to slice a man in two at a stroke.
If they could slice a man in two at one stroke, they took bets. I bet you I could take and I could cut him in two with one stroke, not two. So they took, no, it's not going to take one. It's going to take you about three to get that sword through his whole body. No, it's going to take me only one. Watch me. That's the kind of talk that they had. Read.
Or cut an individual's head from his body, or disembowel him with a single blow of their axes. They grabbed suckling infants by the feet and, ripping them from their mother's breasts, dashed them headlong against the rocks.
We showed you pictures of what that looked like. They actually bashed our heads against the rocks. There's pictures that show that. I should have brought them pictures in here. Keep reading.
Yes, sir. Others laughing.
There might be, hold it.
It's on there when they're taking them.
Yeah, because I'm looking for that one.
Yes, sir. It's in there.
Others laughing and
joking. Can we find that picture real quick? Can we find that picture? Just close out.
There.
That's
There
it
it is,
right
right
there.
there.
That's what he was talking about. Because that's the very next page. Zoom in. Let them see that. They got the little baby there. Show the whole wall. Moving around so they can see. They bashing the baby's head against. That's what it's talking about. Look at what they did to Simeon. Look at what they did to our brothers. Look at what they did.
He down there stoking the
He's
fire.
down there burning them up. We're going to read that. Come on back. This is terrorism. We remember these things. That's the reason why we talk about some Jesus is white. Terrorism. Read.
Others, laughing and joking all the while, threw them over their shoulders into a river, shouting, "Wriggle, you little perisher."
You know what that means? Throw them over the shoulder like, whoop. That's what they were doing. Like, they're not even looking, just throw the little babies in there.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Right.
Go ahead.
Into a river. Gator
Into a
bait.
river. Go ahead, read.
Shouting, "Wriggle, you little perisher." They slaughtered anyone and everyone in their path, on occasion running through a mother and her baby with a single thrust of their swords. They spared no one, erecting especially wide gibbets on which they could string their victims up with their feet just off the ground and then burning them alive.
That's what the picture that we was looking at. Burning them alive. Go ahead, keep reading.
13 at a time.
Read.
In honor of our Savior and the 12 apostles.
Meaning lies. Because there ain't no honor of no, that's white supremacy. That ain't no honor of Jesus. The people that were being strung up are the people of God. These are the devils that came over there. Read.
Or tied dry straw to their bodies and set fire to it.
Do y'all hear this? Go ahead.
Some they chose to keep alive and simply cut their wrists, leaving their hands dangling, saying to them, take this
leaving their
letter.
hands dangling with the piece of skin. That's what it's talking about. Like, cut it all off and just let the skin keep the hand attached to the arm. Go ahead.
Saying to them, take this letter, meaning that their sorry condition would act as a warning to those hiding in the hills.
So that's what they did to these ball players. What we do to him, letting all of y'all know this person represents a letter. This is what we gonna do when we get you. That's basically the terrorism. They crucified this brother and this sister to say this is a message to all of y'all. Go ahead, read.
The way they normally dealt with the native leaders and nobles was to tie them to a kind of griddle consisting of sticks resting on pitchforks driven into the ground, and then grill them over a slow fire, with the result that they howled in agony and despair as they died a lingering death.
And died in a painful death. Read. This is the part I want to get to. Come on.
It once happened that I myself witnessed their grilling of 4 or 5 local leaders in this fashion, and I believe they had set up 2 or 3 other pairs of grills alongside so that they might process other victims at the same time.
Read on.
When the poor creature's howls came between the Spanish commander and his sleep.
I want y'all to hear this. This is the white man on the top bunk. That bastard didn't like when I said that's how James Esau White. This is what I was talking about, because we were making so much noise as the Israelites, he had to come down and say, let me go deal with them, because this truth is getting out there too much. Read that statement again.
I believe they had set up 2 or 3 other pairs of grills alongside so that they might process other victims at the same time.
Go ahead.
When the poor creature's howls came between the Spanish commander and his sleep, he gave orders that the prisoners were to be throttled.
To be throttled. That's repression. That's repression. That's why I wanted this read. That's repression. Simeon went through repression. When the people show the picture, so you can see what we're looking at. Move it up. When they were screaming, and the executioner is burning them. And they're going to naturally scream. They're going to naturally be screaming. So while they're screaming, the top bastard is on the bunk trying to get some sleep. He's trying to get some sleep. While he's trying to get some sleep, he says that their cries is disturbing my sleep. Read, go back to the writing. He gave orders?
He gave orders that the prisoners were to be throttled.
To be throttled. You know what it means to be throttled? Repressed. The throttle means to choke down. That's what a throttle is. A throttle is like an attenuation, like the attenuator on your radio. You turn the volume down. You decrease the ability for it to continue to move freely. That's the word attenuation, and that's also throttle. It's the same thought. Read that again. It said gave orders that the prisoners were to be throttled. Go ahead.
But the man in charge of the execution detail.
That's the man up there. Go back up to the part again. Let's show that man at the bottom. That's the executioner. So he was upset because he was enjoying what he was doing. Go back to the writing.
But the man in charge of the execuation detail.
That's the man that we just showed you.
Who was more bloodthirsty than the average common hangman.
He loved burning them. He had a fetish, a lust to do the heinous type of murder. But he was upset because the man that's trying to get sleep, he said, listen, man, can you do that damn thing quietly? He was angry. He said, he's messing up my joy. I want to hear them scream. Go ahead, read.
Who was more bloodthirsty than the average common hangman. I know his identity and even met some relatives of his in Seville.
Go ahead. Damn, he even know these cats. Come on, read. Because he was one of them. Go ahead, read on.
Was loath to cut short his
he hated to cut short. That's what he was loath to cut short his private entertainment. By doing what? By throttling them. And so he personally went around ramming wooden bungs into their mouths
to stop them making such a racket and deliberately stoke the fire so that they would take just as long to die as he himself chose.
So, do you see this here? Did y'all get that? The man said, listen, cut out all that noise. So he says, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to throttle them so that they cannot scream. When you're screaming, you want relief. We're not going to let you scream. We're not going to let you get any kind of relief. But because of that, the pain is even worse. So he stoked the fire to make it last as long as he could so that he could enjoy the slow death. That's what they did to Simeon, so that he could enjoy the slow death. This is the history that happened to our people. And you damn bastards want to talk about some damn Holocaust? That's the Holocaust there. You want us to forget this, and you want us to talk about what happened to you in Germany. And because we say that, they say we're anti-Semitic. Because we would say that, they'll say that we're wishing hate on them. Because we're bringing out truth. We ain't got nothing to do with what happened to you in Germany. We're talking about what happened to us. Everybody else can talk about what happened to them. But when we bring it up, you put these damn bastards in front of us, then we got to go through them to get our truth out.
Right.
You devils, you're going to pay for that. I can't wait to read about you. I got you up in here. I'm going to get it in. If I have to skip a whole lot, I'm going to get you. We're going to get you today. So come out of that. That's it. That's it. Shoot. Where we at? The backlash. Hold it. There was something else. Go back to one of those. There was a posting that said about the backlash. I want to look at the picture. Let me see the pictures. The word back. No, not that. Come out of that. There was a picture that was on social media. Maybe I forgot to send it. Say something, brothers.
Goodness gracious. It said that you used the word dashed in the actual description.
I'm going to send it to you.
So I read the word dashed in the Bible talking about little ones.
Oh, yeah.
And it even mentioned in that scripture, that Psalms 137, the end of that you don't have to get it. I mean, I guess they're ready for it.
Dashed at little ones.
Mm-hmm. Happy.
Yeah, read that since you're there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, read it. Psalms, what is it, 58?
Psalms 137, verse.
Verse 9.
Verse 9.
Psalms chapter 137 and verse 9. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stone.
That's when you start from the 7 verses talking about Esau, Edom. Okay, it says Edom, the daughter of Babylon. That's Edom, the white man. Okay, it's talking about him. Read this here.
TSR Sports, Kyrie Irving faces backlash.
That's the word I want. Backlash. Go ahead.
For promoting anti-Semitic film on social media.
He promoted. They say he promoted simply because he posted it. He promoted it. But the person that made the damn film, they ain't got no backlash at all. That's crazy.
Somewhere relaxing.
And the people and the person that's selling it on Amazon.
Yeah.
They
Still selling it. No backlash at all.
Backlash.
And it didn't say allegedly anti-Semitic. They just go ahead and tell you that it is.
Yeah, it's anti-Semitic. That's how they think.
Hey. Backlash. Now, so you see the word backlash there, right? Give me Nina Simone. Put the thing that I put up there earlier. Read that. That's right here. If you look up her song, this is Nina Simone. She did a song called Backlash Blues. Y'all need to check this sister out. Actually, there was a video on Netflix. I don't know if it's still up there. But it tells you a little bit about her.
Yes.
A little bit about her. And she was very conscientious for, I'll use that word, about the state of black people. And she expressed that in her music. Okay, I did not know about this sister many years ago. I learned about her about 10 years ago, I think, 10, 15 years ago. But I didn't know about her. And, and then I realized because she made another song called Mississippi Goddamn.
Right.
Yeah, because of the evil that was happening to us in Mississippi. When she made the records that she was making was in the radio stations and all that. The white man got so damn mad they found all of the copies of her records that they could find, broke them up, and put them in a box and sent them back to her. That's how much they hated that. But she didn't give it that. She said, Mississippi, goddamn. Because it was talking about, you got to check those records out. Read these lyrics. Mr. Backlash.
Backlash Blues, song by Nina Simone. Lyrics. Mr. Backlash, just who do you think I am? You raise my taxes, freeze my wages, and send my son to Vietnam.
That's repression again. Why in the world would we allow our sons to go fight in a cause that we ourselves don't even enjoy? What is it? Just think about that. Think about being forced to go fight and go on the battlefield and risk your life for a freedom that you yourself don't even enjoy. We all know that we feel a certain way about that, but because of the repression and the terrorism, we do it anyway because we got to survive. That is a hell of a way to live.
Wow.
And Martin Luther King spoke about that. And they said, you ain't supposed to be speaking that way, and if you keep on speaking it this way, we're going to kill you. And they did that. Go ahead, read on.
You give me second-class houses and second-class schools. Do you think that all colored folks are just second-class fools? Oh,
yeah, you gotta recognize when she was making records like this, a lot of people were scared. A lot of people were scared. A lot of people. Well, we did have a movement, just like 70s and all that. So she was bringing out that 60s and 70s. I think that was her time period. Damn sure wasn't no 80s and all. This is like 60s, between 60s and 70s. That's what this time period was. And so you did have you had the brothers in the streets, the Panthers and all that. So there was some consciousness going on. So go ahead, read on. I ain't going to slow it down no more.
Oh, Mr. Backlash, I'm going to leave you with the Backlash Blues. When I try to find a job to earn a little cash, all you got to offer is your mean old white backlash.
Backlash meaning retaliation. Backlash means repression. Backlash means terrorism. That's what she's bringing out in her music. The list goes on. You can, but I stopped it there. Okay, let's get more. Let's move up a little further. So the question is, we're talking about the brother, Kyrie. We're talking about Ye. We're talking about Nick Cannon. We're talking about even Ice Cube at one point. Deshaun Jackson. And what's the brother? Kendrick Lamar. These brothers that tried to at least do a little something. But then they faced the backlash. They got shut down. And they're still working on others. But there is a constant backlash that's going on. And they used the point, well let me read this so I won't get off track. I said, this is crazy how they deal with us, okay? But it's true. The point is for us to know that this is the system, that it is not for us, okay? And thus we must understand the purpose of being terrorized. They want us to when we are a terrorized people, let me read that again. I said this is crazy, but it's true. The point is for us to know that this system is not for us. They want us to know that the system is not for us. They want us to just be here, just in existence, but we are not to really enjoy it. That's what we get out of this system. And basically the message is for us to just shut up, be in our place, and just be niggers, be Hispanics, be Spics, the rest of the things. So because this is the viewpoint that they put out there. This is what we've come to learn about our status. That's why we are denizens. Okay, we don't really get the real freedom, get to enjoy what a real man and a real woman should really enjoy in the system. We don't get that. So here's a question: what films in history caused the literal murdering of our people? Because they're basically trying to say that what these brothers said. They said that what's these brothers? Kyrie,
Ye, Deshaun Jackson.
They're saying that because of their putting these words out, putting this information out, it's going to increase violence against the so-called Jews. And they got statistics. They could manufacture statistics, you know what I mean? So they just put that up there and they say, oh, crime against Jews, quote unquote Jews.
Yeah, exactly. It's on the rise.
It's on the rise.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They'll say that because of the brother said that I'm a Jew.
Right.
Just because he talking about even that DEFCON statement. I can't get into the full, but I know damn well they ain't worrying about no black people doing nothing to the so-called Jews. They know that. They know that. But they will say that so that they can say we have a reason for shutting you down. Because in reality, we don't want you to say anything. We want you to stay hidden. We don't want you to come up and say anything. So they're saying that our mere statements is increasing hate towards them, is inciting violence against them. Total lies. They're the most protected people in the planet. What the hell are you talking about? But here's the question. What films in history caused the literal murdering of our people? Let's get to the article. Birth of a Nation. That's one of them. What did the film? I ain't talking about the one that was done recently. I'm talking about the original one with what's his name, D.W. Griffith.
Mm-hmm.
In 1915, I think the time was. Let's read this thing here.
Yep.
Hey, hold it. Read that. Now I was trying to find some points that I want to bring out in this here. But let's just read some of the stuff here.
A terrorizing mythology. On the 100th anniversary of Birth of a Nation. On February 8th, 1915, D.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation premiered in American theaters. The film depicted the Civil War, its aftermath, and Reconstruction. Though billed as history by its director, Birth of a Nation instead offered up an alternate past.
Right, go ahead.
In this retelling of historical events, Reconstruction was discriminatory towards whites, African Americans were oppressive tyrants, and the film's heroes were the Ku Klux Klan.
The film's hero was the Klan, the Ku Klux Klan. That was in a film that was actually played in the White House.
And they heroes.
And they were heroes in a film.
Wow.
But what did this do? Did this have any effect on us as black people? Did this cause harm? Did the crime rate soar? Did the statistics soar because of stuff like this? Did it happen to us? Let's see. Go ahead.
Chivalrous protectors of civilization and white womanhood. This was
white womanhood. Jump down.
Yes.
Birth of a Nation revolutionized film.
Yes, sir. Birth of a Nation revolutionized filmmaking as we know it. For white American, it offered a chance at reconciliation.
For white America, it offered a chance for what?
At reconciliation between white North and a white South.
Meaning don't tread on me. They want to bring the snake back together. Meaning the union, to save the union. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I was going to, Bishop, were you saying that, are you asking, did this movie
contribute to
things that have,
yes.
Emmett Till.
Yes, I'm coming to all that. I'm getting ready to bring all that in. That's what I was trying to get to these. Go ahead, because they're saying that when the brothers come out and say about the truth about us being the Jews, they're saying they're inverting that to say that this is causing harm to them. When we're just speaking facts, we ain't said. That's why the brother said, Kyrie said that I'm not against anybody. Right. If anybody's taking that way, I apologize, but that was not my point, and they know that's not his point. Right. They said we know that's not your point. We want you to get in our pocket and cow down to these Jews, so-called Jews, right, and call yourself a nigger again. That's basically what they're saying. So go ahead, read.
For African Americans everywhere, however, it was a terrorizing mythology that posed existential dangers if not confronted directly.
So it was a terrorizing mythology. What did it do? It posed existential dangers. What was the existential dangers? The effects of what happened to us as a result of this kind of mindset being promulgated throughout the media. It was actually played in the White House. They actually, Woodrow Wilson actually had this screened in the White House. Go ahead.
A young white girl flees a black figure, Gus the renegade.
That's why the white woman talking about she want to clutch her purse. He's following me. He's this and that. All that bull crap. Damn. Go ahead.
A former slave turned Union soldier. He is a perverse product of the vicious doctrine spread by the carpetbaggers and other agents of emancipation.
So look at the thing. I got to move a little faster. Jump down. It says, no. I want those words up there. In desperation, his white victim flings herself over the precipice of a cliff preferring the opal gates of death to being ravished by this black brute. That's the mentality of what they have against us now. They're damn ugly ass white woman talking about something. This black man is following me. I'm like, what the hell is this? Stuff like that because they believe in crap like this here. Like I'm trying to get the hell away from all of you.
Right. All them Karens out
Jesus
there.
Christ. The hell is this? But yeah, but that's the way it be. Let me move on faster. So the question is, there's a lot here. I wanted to go through this here. So what did Gwen? My question was, what films in history caused the literal murdering of our people? Stuff like this here, exacerbated and amplified stereotypes. Let's see how far else it go. Good, my next article. My next article. I can't see, brothers. Yeah, I think that's the next one, right? Yes, sir.
Black History Month. Conch Steppen Fetchett's Hollywood stardom.
Conch. Yeah, that's
Conch.
like, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, Conch.
Conch. Yeah. Go ahead.
Like the
yes.
the
like the hairdo.
Yes,
There.
sir. The Lincoln Perry story begins in Key
That's
West.
his name. This is Steppen Fetchett. Okay. A lot of people heard about him in these stereotypical movies. These things have laid down attitudes that we felt because of stuff like this here that was done in so-called Jewish Hollywood. Because they run that. These are the things that was done. The stereotypes were perpetrated, were portrayed like this here. Black History Month. Conch Steppen Fetchett, Hollywood stardom. What stardom? Read that. Come on.
The Lincoln Perry story begins in Key West, but does not stay on the island for long.
Move up. Move up. Move up. I want to get to what he was about. His family, move on. Let me see. Change the state names. Steppen Fetchett. Right there. Steppen Fetchett was billed.
Steppen Fetchett was billed as the laziest man in the world.
That's where they said that black people are lazy. They use him to frame that black people are lazy. Go ahead.
He was a fumbling, slow-witted character who, to avoid work, would act dumb and break tools or engage in some other form of shenanigans until those around him would get fed up and do the work themselves.
That's how they deal with us. They're saying that we're shysters. You're just trying to get out of work, ain't you? They get it from stuff like this here. They paid this guy to coin that spirit, to be the embodiment that every time that you go out here in society, they attach that to you because of this. So these things have led to many different things. Even Oda Ben Gay. Oda Ben Gay. Look at him up. Oda Ben Gay. Oda Ben Gay.
How you spell that, Bishop?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Benga. I know that's his last name.
Oda Ben Gay.
Right there, Oda Ben Gay. That's it.
Okay.
What is this here? This is what happened to us. Let's just open that up. I don't have this in my lesson, but just look around. Wikipedia, read that.
Oda Ben Gay.
In case people don't know what they're looking at, just drop down. While at the Bronx Zoo, Benegay was allowed to walk on the grounds. Does it say anything else to it? Okay, start up above it. Start up above it.
Yes, sir.
See if you can read. I need this thing.
Benga had been purchased from African slave traders by the explorer Samuel Phillips Werner, a businessman searching for African people for the exhibition.
For the exhibition. This is the Bronx Zoo. Go ahead.
Who took him to the United States. While at the Bronx Zoo, Benga was allowed to walk the grounds before and after he was exhibited in the zoo's monkey house.
Did y'all hear this? That's what they did to our people. But what when Kyrie tried to speak about the atrocities that happened to us, they didn't even want to hear it. They want him to apologize for him telling the truth. But when it comes to stuff like this here, we don't want no mention of it at all. Yo.
My God.
Yeah. So y'all can read more about that. Give me the next one. Tulsa. I'm moving a little faster now, brothers. Cause like I said, I want to finish the subject.
Did the Bronx Zoo have to apologize?
No. The Bronx Zoo didn't have to apologize. It's still open. The Bronx Zoo is still open. It's still open. Right there near, was it Gut? I'm trying to remember the highway that runs one of those parkways that run by it. But go ahead.
Tulsa?
Yes.
The Tulsa Race Massacre, also known as the Tulsa Race Riot or the Black Wall Street Massacre, was a 2-day-long massacre that took place between May 31st and June 1st.
So the question behind why did this happen, this is 1921. So let's add up the time period now. You had in 1915 where that movie came out, and that inflamed people to want to perpetrate violence against us to the point where they saw us trying to do something for ourselves, and they attacked us and did not think that they were doing anything wrong. There's a picture of a brother of one of the little boys that was in that area who found his sister, and his sister's head was missing. An actual picture, a photograph. Yeah.
We can.
So go ahead and read that.
Yes, sir. Was a 2-day-long massacre that took place between May 31st and June 1st, 1921, when mobs of white residents, some of whom had been appointed as deputies and armed by city officials, attacked black residents and destroyed homes and businesses of the Greenwood district in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
So go ahead.
They armed someone with
they deputized. They deputized them
so they can continue in the massacre
because they were using. They said, "Well, listen, you're white people, but look at the prosperity of these blacks. So here I'm going to give you a gun and a badge, and I'm going to deputize you to let's go to war against these black people."
And that probably fueled their anger.
Yes.
Because of the position that the blacks were in.
Exactly.
That fueled their anger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
and every one of them had seen that movie too, and had that image, our racial image, controlled by the people making that movie, so that they feel okay about doing it, which they already do in their spirit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they want to do. That's what's inside of them. They
Right.
said, "Race it, race it."
Right.
Which
so did
was-
we find it? Did
Oh.
we find the picture?
Yes, sir.
Do we have it? We got
The picture of the boy.
Yeah. Do we have it? Yes or no? Okay.
And that movie was the most widely distributed film ever up until that point. Movies didn't have distribution runs like that film had. Everybody went to go see that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just like even today, those Jewish people controlling the media, what goes out in movies and on TV and social media and all that, to control the minds of the people.
Right.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So this is what these things were done. These videos were put out about us. The slander, the evil speaking.
Mm-hmm.
It literally inflamed violence against us. It inflamed terrorist acts against us. It justified them repressing us. They're just niggers anyway. That kind of thing. So that brought on a whole level of repression and terrorism where there's absolutely no respect for us at all. But yet we're supposed to remain silent about it. I'm going to read this thing here. Give me my next video, because I'm making a point that this is terrorism. These acts were perpetrated upon us in real time, in real life, okay? And they do serve a purpose. The purpose of terrorism is to keep us in our place. That's the reason why they do these things, okay? So now I'm going to show you something before we play it. Even President Obama, although he knew the evil of this country, he knew it. He even pointed it out. And even him being president, he could only comment on it, but yet he couldn't do anything about it. President Obama could not do anything about a reality that he's about to bring up. Okay, we got the picture. Show the picture. Thank you, brothers. You're all on point. Zoom in. This was the Black Wall Street. I want y'all to look at this. Maybe some of y'all seen it. Maybe some of y'all have not seen it. Okay, we put that IUIC there. We probably didn't have to do that. But we met I want to say this. I'm glad that came up. We were in Tulsa when we went down there. And the brother that showed us this, he allowed us to take a picture of this. He had it in his phone. He allowed us to take, and that's the reason why we got it. And what I want to say about that is that the repression on us is so great. Now, I'm not going to attempt to get inside the brother's head, but he was right up on us, telling us about the terror that happened down there. I mean, we was going through the museum, the different areas. He's showing us the stuff that was going on down there. And I can tell you that by the way we will hold on to certain artifacts of truth, that we cannot really be comfortable in how we bring it out. There's an apprehension, so to speak. In other words, I have to be able to trust you men that I can give this information to, because there's a backlash. There's an automatic backlash if you stink to tell any kind of truth or anything. So he felt a bit comfortable with us that he said, I'm going to let y'all take this. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, sir. But normally that would not have been the case, because he don't know, somebody might try to say something, turn him in, this and that and the other, look at what he's showing, that kind of stuff. Right. The same way where you cannot say Jesus is black. You can't say that the Israelites are black. You cannot show the real atrocities that happen to our people without somebody getting mad. What are you talking about? That's how they deal with us. Right. Why are you always bringing that up? Nobody want to hear about your cries, about your murdered forefathers, about your 300 million brothers that's buried in America, like Kyrie was saying. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to see the pictures. Show the picture here. White America don't want to see this.
So had it been another
but you want to show me about so-called Jews in Holland, in Germany. Well, how come you don't want to see? And you know what's amazing? No, I don't want to cut your flow.
No, you fine.
Cap. What's amazing about this is that a lot of people just till recently did not know that there was a massacre that happened in Tulsa in 1921.
I'll be honest with you, Bishop. It went to a few years back.
Just a few years ago, most people didn't even know. I'm talking about black people had no idea that this history even existed.
Exactly. That's true. Yeah.
Right here in this damn country. The worst terrorist attack on record, if anywhere, happened right here in this country. Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921.
Yep.
Black people did not even know about this history at all. Just a few years ago. And this is what the brothers showed me. Show that picture again.
Bishop, you'll have these coons like Shannon Sharp,
I
Charles
didn't get to them yet. That's why I got to get them.
They'll all say, hey, why Kyrie talking like this about this man? But they won't mention none of this.
No.
They won't mention none of this against their own people.
That's crazy. That's exactly right. They have to act like it don't exist. Go back to the repression again. This is why they're not saying nothing. We gonna change gears a little bit. We gotta get these things going on.
Yeah.
Go back to that thing again about the repression, because I want you to mention about what you just said, because we got to bring that thing in. Look at that bottom part. The act of controlling strong emotions and desires and not allowing them to be expressed so that they no longer seem to exist. Move the hand so I can see the word. They no longer seem to exist. So there's no talk. Go ahead. What you were saying?
So Kyrie Irving will talk about that we are the Jews, this, that, and this, and they will completely shut that down like it don't exist.
Exactly. Exactly.
But that goes back to what you were saying about the guy was taking us through the museum there.
Right.
That he was able to feel comfortable to open up.
Right.
And not be repressed.
Exactly.
Because,
exactly.
Yes. That's the point
he felt like he can breathe.
Yes, that's the point.
Felt like he could breathe. All right. So where are we going? There was another. Did I get to my the Kyrie? There was another video with him. Go back to the Kyrie. I need to. No. Let me get the Obama thing. 'Cause I mentioned Obama. Now, again, let me set this up. Even Obama, although he knew the evil in America, he knew how evil this place is. He can't say it, though, but he pointed it out. He pointed it out in this particular instance that I'm about to show you. And even him being president, he could only comment on it. But he couldn't do anything about it, literally. Play.
So let's look at the statistics. The United States is home to 5% of the world's population.
Stop right there. America, the whole continent of America. You wonder if it's a continent. Might be a peninsula, right? This country. I just threw that just so I could get my point out. This country, small as it is, look at the size of it. Back it up a little bit. Look at it right there. Don't move it. Show that. Look at the size of America compared to the rest of the planet. Right. America is home to 5% of the world's population. A nickel. 95% of the people live everywhere else. 95% of everybody live everywhere else but America. Only a nickel worth of the world's people live in America. Play on.
The United States is home to 5% of the world's population, but 25% of the world's prisoners.
But stop. But a quarter of all the prisoners in the world is locked up here in America. So America is only a nickel in terms of the world population, but she is a quarter of all of the population on the planet in terms of prisoners. So 75% of the prisoners exist in all the rest of the country, and 25 cents of prisoners, or 1/4 of all of the prisoners on the planet is locked up in America. And 80% of those people that's locked up is the Israelites, blacks and Hispanics and Indians. You all right? 80% of the people in prison is our people.
Wow. Hid in prison houses.
Hid in prison houses.
Crazy.
Isaiah 42. I ain't read a scripture in a while. Isaiah 42. Isaiah 42:22. Come on, let's read.
Isaiah 42:22.
42 verse 22, yes.
Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
This is not the so-called Jews. This is us. Come on.
They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses.
That's our people. Come on.
They are for a prey, and none delivereth.
Nobody's even wanting to hear what's happened to us. Go ahead.
For a spoil.
For a spoil. Go ahead.
And none saith restore.
Nobody's trying to restore us. You can't even speak about it. We have to act like restoration does not exist when it comes to us. Read.
Who among you will give ear to this?
Nobody wants to hear this truth here. So the point is that we can't even speak about restoration of our people. This false media will manufacture a reason called anti-Semitism to repress the truth. That's how they deal with us. That's how they deal with us. Isaiah 14, verse 17. Here's some water.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 17. That made the world as a wilderness.
This white man, Esau, that's what this chapter is, Isaiah 14. This white man made the world as a wilderness, come on.
And destroyed the cities thereof.
And he destroyed the cities with bombs. He dropped bombs on the people, come on.
That opened not the houses of his prisoners.
That opened not the house of his prisoners. That opened not the house of his prisoners. 80% of the people that's locked up in this country is us, is our people. But it ain't just talking about for the crimes and what the things that we did. They don't allow us we don't even have the freedom. The ones of us that's quote unquote free. We can't even speak like real men. So it's talking about that mental prison. They won't even allow us to even think like real men. Okay? Let's see something. I want to skip some of this stuff here. Go to the video. My next video, because I'm talking about this here, the Shannon, the video. Go to the next video. That's it. Now you on now. Now it's time. Now it's time to get it in. You got my time? Let's start rolling.
I'm with you. I believe in free speech.
Bullshit.
If Kyrie Irving wants to quit basketball and go home and become a crusader for whatever cause that he wants to crusade for on social media, I am all for him.
That's a damn lie. That's a damn lie, because we, the Israelites, are doing that, and every last one of you devils is trying to shut the truth down. That's what I'm talking about. The Bible says never trust your enemies. And he got a Negro sitting over there listening to him. Right. You're going to get hit in the eyes with venom. Read.
Say, go, Kyrie, go. But unfortunately for him right now, he makes 37.
Maybe the people didn't understand what he was saying. I shouldn't have stopped it. Back it up again. Let me let it play. I'm going to start letting these videos play, and then we'll comment on it later. Come on, I got to get
with
through
the Halloween crap.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And become a crusader for whatever cause that he wants to crusade for on social media, I am all for him. I say, go, Kyrie, go. But unfortunately for him right now, he makes $37 million to represent a very big business known as the Brooklyn Nets, who play for a much bigger business called the National Basketball
NBA.
Association.
That is correct.
Both of which are heavily reliant on ad revenue from sponsors who sell products.
I want y'all to notice the attitude of the way that this white man is saying. He said, who he gets millions of dollars. He's pointing it to him. He wants you to feel what he's saying. And look how the brother on the other side is sitting. He's just sitting there absorbing it. That's what I'm saying. You got to pick up the cues. Look at how this Edomite is talking. Back it up a little bit.
Right, he's leaning all
He's
into
leaning because he wants you to
looking
get.
At every
he
bit
wants
of,
those points to get in that head.
Right.
Play it.
The Brooklyn Nets, who play for a much bigger business called the National Basketball
NBA.
Association.
That is correct.
Both of which are heavily reliant on ad revenue from sponsors who sell products bought by people who are going to be Jewish or Christian or Islam.
He don't care. Stop. He don't care about Christians. He don't care about. It's all about the so-called Jews. Go ahead.
Just got offended, I'm assuming, by Kyrie Irving. Okay, I'm going to try to tiptoe through this just to drive home for those who don't know what Kyrie did to try to explain it. Okay, so by posting a link to a movie based on a book, movie came out in 2018, book 2015, it appeared strongly that Kyrie was endorsing and promoting said movie and book.
Right.
And the movie is based on the book that Rolling Stone calls venomously anti-Semitic.
There's no such thing.
And cites, Rolling Stone does, statements within the movie that, quote, many famous high-ranking Jews have admitted to worshiping Satan or Lucifer.
He said that's in the film. Go ahead, please. Let it play.
That's where we start. And another description of the film on Amazon that Kyrie linked to says that the movie uncovers the true identity of the children of Israel by proving the true ethnicity of Abraham, Jacob, many others. Find out what Islam, Judaism, and Christianity have covered up for centuries in regards to the true biblical identity of the so-called Negro in this movie packed with tons of research.
Pause. Where is his reaction to that statement? He better not break breath and say anything about that at all. He's going forget about the thing he said about Islam and Christianity, but the book is whatever, the documentary or whatever, is making statements. The brother Kyrie just posted it, and they're tearing him up, but nobody's dealing with what the actual film said. They ain't even talking to the man that made the film, none of that at all. Right. Least of all this brother here. Go ahead, play on.
Okay, he's free, again, to believe all of the above.
Right. That's a lie.
Maybe there's some truth in that, but I don't know of it.
Right.
I'm just saying
There is truth in the film. There is truth in what the video is talking about, because they wouldn't be talking about it.
Right.
There is truth in it. And the fact that he posted it validated it. But this brother here, he knows what the deal is, but he can't say anything. Go ahead, play it.
I read the book.
Okay, I got you. Neither have I. I'm reciting what I'm reading.
Probably Kyrie hasn't either, but okay, go ahead.
You know what?
So he want to already attack him. He's saying that he's ignorant. He's just speaking stupidly. Right. You see how that's what Deacon was talking about. Yeah. They'll send the dogs after you.
Yeah.
They'll send the dogs after you. They'll start attacking you. Go ahead.
He's stirring up stuff that don't
matter. The word 300 million people of my people buried in this country ain't going to go through no Negro's head. Sitting up there with a white man. None of them. Him. What's the other one? Charles Barkley. What's the other guy? Shaq. None of them. They're not going to address any of that at all because they can't speak. Repression. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
This is going to offend so many people, especially the Jewish people, at the worst time, because Robert Kraft.
How many people were offended with Birth of a Nation? How many people were offended with Step and Fetch It? How many people were affected by those racist films that they produced in Hollywood?
Right.
all those racist cartoons with the big lips and all.
Right,
How many of our people? How many of our girls have suffered from self-esteem issues because of what they did with our images? How many of our boys have suffered from self-image with problems with their images because of these films that they put out? But you want me to dismiss all of that? You want me to dismiss millions of my people that were dead, that died coming over here on the ships? Want me to just discount 300 million of my people murdered in this country? You want me to discount all of that to talk about these guys that they're not even Jews like the scriptures talk about? Read. Go ahead.
England Patriots yesterday sponsored an ad that ran in NFL games. Stand up to Jewish hate.
Stand up to Jewish
Probably
hate.
ignited to some extent by Kanye. Now, Kyrie didn't go completely Kanye as in speaking out against Jewish people. Right. It didn't come straight from Kyrie's mouth. Right. But I had to wonder, was Kyrie standing up, backing up Kanye? Was there something operating under the surface here? I don't know, but I just throw it out. I don't know. So for Kyrie, once again, it's worst. It's not just wrong place, wrong time. It's worst place, worst time. And obviously his owner condemned him by tweeting.
Yeah, you heard that. His owner. That was not a mistake. He said that because that's the contract state. Right. And that's the reason why that backlash comes, because it's in writing. That's what makes them break. That's the reason why when Deacon, let's just go out of this because I'm logged for time. The reason why these brothers break under pressure. Give me the next clip with Deacon Abiel. This is the reason why, because what's in those contracts, they got to honor that. And whenever they get out of line, they vilify them and do them like what we're about to watch here. Okay? Shout out to Deacon Abiel for Fix Your Face, because I know he's going to fix faces after this.
That's right.
Come on.
Oh, I know everybody been wanting to see it. Listen to me. I'm going to show you the video, and I'm going to show you what we really see. Go ahead.
So before God, what I would do is start off as a samurai and say, I'm sorry for hurting you. As a Jewish person, I'm sorry for the way that made you feel. And I'm sorry for the entire population of a race that I feel is actually my brothers, because I classify and feel that I'm also connected with Christ in that way, that my people came from Africa in that way. And I can't say it's this exact teaching or that exact teaching, but I feel that there's an important, the sons of Abraham, however we want to word it, right, for us to come together and bring our different.
Do y'all hear how this is coming out? The confidence is gone because they got to him. That's what you're hearing here. He's not even clear with what he's saying. Talking about something, we want to be accepted too. They're not Jews. We are. Right. Go ahead.
Different talents together to serve God collectively. And he, as much of an alien as I am, he did not call for me to alienate.
So I'm going to show you what we witnessed. I'm going to be honest with you. What we witnessed, the whole world watched.
Yep.
And like I said, his friends, the people that said they love him, everybody stood by. And it was only a matter of time. Let's be real. When you're not fortified with the word of God, when you don't have Christ as your foundation, you're not going to be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. So again, we be looking and wondering, man, why they flip so fast? Why they switch up so fast? Well, Nick Cannon switched up in less than a day.
Yeah, facts.
Just be real. You have to be rooted in this. This has to be who you really are, okay? This isn't a fad. This isn't something that's, overnight thing. Nah, this is Bible prophecy coming to life. What we witnessed before the world was this. Watch this.
Anyone looks away takes a turn. Toby, I'm going to give you a chance to avoid this. Maybe Mr. Waller will let everyone enjoy this blessed day. I want you healthy, so you'll work hard. And all you have to do is tell me your name. I'm Gunta Kinte. Son of a... Your name is Toby. Now tell me your name. That's not your name. Toby's your name. Now what is your name?
Say it.
Toby's your name. Now I'll ask you again. Tell me your name. Say it! Say it! Say it! Toby!
Say it.
Toby! It's Toby! Now say it! Toby! Damn you!
For the young and the old.
Bastard. You will not move from here till you say your name. Not if night falls or a new day comes. And you will say Toby. Say it. Say it! Say it! Say it!
Moro, I hurt my boy.
Please. I'm here. No, Benta. I can't see our boy. I've looked for him everywhere. He isn't coming home.
Say it! Say it! Say your name. Your owner's wife chose for you. Say your name so you know this ain't Africa. This is Virginia, and you're the property of John Waller, like the horses and hogs, nothing more. Say your name so you know what you are. Say it. Say it. Say it! Say it! Say your name! Say it! Say Toby! Tell me your name! Say it, damn you! Say Toby! Just say your name! Say it again. Louder. What's your name? What's your name?
You see it? That's what I'm saying.
Damn. Now I want you to go all the way back to the beginning. I want you to listen to what he says first. Watch this.
Anyone looks away takes a turn.
Anybody look away, you take a turn. If anybody looks away, you gonna get yours too. You next. You better watch this so you know to behave is what he's saying.
Yep.
You better don't look away, don't look to the left or the right. You better focus, because if you get uppity like this one right here, this is what's gonna happen to you. Now you see why now folks is ducking their head. Why everybody ain't as boisterous. Why everybody ain't chiming in. They don't want to go through what Ye's going through.
Yep.
Where's his friends?
Yeah, you're right. It's gone. They took it. Okay. So are we off the stream or? Huh? Damn.
Yeah, I was sitting here thinking they probably because it played so long and we had to say something. Huh?
We didn't jump in during the
That's the reason why I
sound from a film.
let too much go by.
Okay.
I'll just go ahead and let you start. I had too much go. I ain't get to none of my